Good morning, Raptor freaks. Alexiot's here. It's Friday morning. The Raptors going to play the Celtics tonight in Boston. It's a rainy day in Toronto. It's like it hasn't stopped raining for like 2 days straight right now. But yeah, I got all the pertinent preview stuff. I'm also reacting to the 905 loss to Capital City Go-Go last night. And yeah, just general Raptor stuff to talk about, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's start with the latest lineup news. Now, in some ways, I want to start this stream by talking about the game last night with the Pistons and the Celtics, since they're the next two opponents for us 2 nights in a row, playing in Boston tonight and going to Detroit tomorrow. The Pistons put up a valiant fight, had a good lead, but they didn't get it done in the end, and they lost in overtime to the Celtics, and their streak continues. They had a good chance last night, but it's the Celtics, and it's in Boston. And the crew chief last night for that game was Ed Malloy. Whenever Ed Malloy's around a Boston's game, you need to know that he's manipulating it to help them. He's done it to us very specifically already once this year, and at least once a year, every year. Ed Malloy is a ref manipulator, and he will manipulate the game to help the NBA make sure certain teams win certain games. And last night, even though a valiant effort by Monty Williams and the Detroit Pistons, they had a lot stacked against them. Not only was it the worst team versus the best team in the East, it was also them on the road, and also Ed Malloy was there to make sure the Boston Celtics got help. You know, I looked at the team stats for that game last night, and it looks like the Celtics got to the line way more than the Pistons. And, that may have been the factor in what happened last night. So, yeah, ref manipulation in some ways going on. I didn't watch the game specifically. I just know that Ed Malloy is a cheater, and he's an agent for the NBA to do things to help whatever storyline they want to go forward. And, they're opportunists. They didn't plan for the Pistons to be this bad and to lose so much. But when they see an opportunity and they want to guide water certain ways, well, they'll help that water in the ways that they want it to. So now they're trying to set it up with the Raptors versus the Pistons tomorrow. Either the Pistons end the streak against us, which is gross, or we continue the streak for them by beating them. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, though, because we have a major, major game tonight. And then tomorrow, it's going to be a major, major game, even though it should be against a very futile team. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow, too. So, yeah, this is just tough times for the Raptors in general. It's not easy no matter what. All right, let's talk about the lineups for tonight. Now, last night, Jaylen Brown sat out the Celtics game against the Pistons. I fully expect him to play tonight and them to do the superstar swap. Tatum should be sitting tonight, just so y'all know. He's listed on the injury report as questionable for tonight's game with his ankle. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown is on the injury list as day-to-day also with his back. Now, I could see them doing that superstar switch. Sometimes they don't like playing them in the same games. And if there's back-to-back, sometimes they play Jaylen one night and Jason the other night. So I'm fully expecting them to sit Tatum tonight and play Brown. So, yeah, because Brown didn't play last night, and Tatum did. And Tatum got banged up a little bit in game last night, a little bit of a tizzy or whatever was going on with him. So that's what I'm expecting. I expect Jason Tatum to sit and Jaylen Brown to return tonight and lead the Celtics tonight. So, yeah, that is the injury report for the Celtics right now. Nobody else. They're the only two. On our side of things, it's us. Christian Koloko is ruled out tonight, and also Garrett Temple is doubtful for tonight. Well, that's no big deal. If Garrett Temple is going to show up and wear a suit at the bench again, that's a good thing, and be looking professional and sitting with the coaches. So that's our injury report. Garrett and Christian. All right, let's look at the refs. The refs are actually pretty good for tonight. Our crew chief is David Guthrie. He's in his 20th season out of Athens, Georgia. The West Wing is his favorite TV show. He likes the movie Shawshank Redemption. His favorite musician is the Eagles. His favorite book is The Match. His favorite meal is steak with whipped potatoes and broccoli. He'd most like to visit Hawaii. And his hidden talent is hitting fungos. David Guthrie is a minor league baseball player. He was in the Cincinnati Reds organization for a while before his refereeing career. And he has a wife and 2 sons and a daughter. David Guthrie is the worst ref for the Raptors tonight. He is the crew chief. He favors the Celtics. We lost, or no, we are exactly 500 with David Guthrie as a referee at this point. We did have a winning record with him 2 years ago. We've lost more and more in the last 2 years with him, just so you know. And the Celtics only have a .553 record with him. So the split is 50 to 55 for the Celtics. So yeah, Celtics slightly favored, not too heavily favored, but favored all the less with David Guthrie, the crew chief. He's also on the line, the whole scale of ref manipulators like Ed Malloy and Scott Foster. David Guthrie does shady shit on the down low too. And it usually has to do with teams like the Lakers and the Celtics. So really, really watch David Guthrie, the crew chief. Now, the other two referees are top 10 refs for the Raptors. These are two of our favorite refs that are coming in to back up David Guthrie. And that makes me happy, but it also makes me think they're trying to whittle down their great records with us. Our favorite ref of all time right now, Dedrick Taylor, is the second ref. He's the UPS driver. 11th season out of Miami, Florida. His favorite TV show is Good Times. His favorite musician is Michael Jackson. His favorite movie is Crash. His meal is breakfast. He likes to play Candy Crush. His bucket list is to skydive, and he can play the trumpet, and also he's a juggler. Yeah, Dedrick's awesome. He enjoys fishing and playing golf. And yes, he was a UPS driver for 13 years of his life. So yeah, I like Dedrick Taylor. We win 71% of our games in Dedrick Taylor's 10-year career. And that's awesome. We won our last game this season that Dedrick was available to be at our game. And meanwhile, the Celtics win 61%, which is a good win percentage also. But 71 to 61 is the split in the favor of the Raptors with the second ref, Dedrick Taylor. The third ref is JT Orr, another top 10 referee for the Raptors. He's in his 14th season out of Pomona, California. His favorite TV show is Three's Company. He also likes the movie Fletch. His favorite musician is Pearl Jam. His favorite meal is biscuits and gravy. He likes the book The Outsiders. He'd most like to visit Glacier National Park. His bucket list is to start a dog rescue. And his hidden talent is he's an impressionist painter. Yeah, JT Orr is awesome. He worked as a teen counselor in LA County for over 10 years. So he's a good guy, and we've had really good times with him. Like I said, he's a top 10 ref for us and a long-term time top 10 ref. Like Dedrick and JT are like two of our favorite refs. We win 63% of our games with JT Orr. We did lose the last game that he ref for us. And then the Celtics win 55%. So it's 63 to 55 for the Raptors once again. Listen, I like this ref crew overall. I mean, Dedrick and JT are great refs, but David Guthrie is a little untrustworthy. He could be worse. It could be like Scott Foster. It could be Scott Foster or somebody like that. But no, it's a little weird. I don't know. I approve of the ref crew. Hopefully they do really good tonight. But yeah, last night was where the damage was done. Ed Malloy, ref hit job, in some ways not helping the Celtics, not helping the Pistons get out of their losing streak, making sure that they don't beat the Celtics last night. Just in case, put Ed Malloy there, is what Adam Silver said yesterday. All right, well, there's your updates for getting set up for the games tonight, the game tonight against the Celtics. All right, Commissioner Jay is first in today. Let's see what he's saying. Good morning, Raptors family. Wishing you a new day full of opportunities and positive energies. May the brightest of this morning, so make the brightest of this morning so read joy into your life. Have a nice day. I like that, Trevor. Yeah, it's Friday, TGIF. It's raining. It's in the taint of the year, that butt crack of the year between Christmas and New Year's. It's that weird lost week where everybody's kind of not really fully wholeheartedly at work, but has to be at work in some cases. And some people are still on vacation and just kind of enjoying themselves between Christmas and New Year's. It's just that kind of time of the year. It's the end of the year, and everybody's wrapping up their 2023 to get ready for their 2024. And yeah, the new opportunities of this day, next week, next month, next year, next decade. That's right, Trevor J. Let's go get those opportunities. All right, let's see who else is here. Trevor J saying game day. Let's go. We have been here. We're all here in Boston. So Trevor, you're going to the game tonight against the Celtics, going into enemy territories, Trevor J taking some Raptors fans into the game tonight. I love it. I love it. Canadian Dana is here. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's go Raptors. That's right, Dana. I hope you got up on the right side of the bed and ready to have a fantastic Friday. Let's do it the right way and let's win tonight, Raptors. We need to beat the Celtics. It'll look real good. It'll feel real good. Let's get some of the great rotations from against the Wizards to work tonight against a higher level opponent. And hopefully we see great success. Dennis Schroeder off the bench, leading the bench team to make sure that we don't have a drop off in quality. It's quality control, baby. And if Dennis can have the quality of the bench be a high level as a leader for the bench, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. That'd be a great development because we need continuity and excellence and good play between the starters and the bench. The Raptors have struggled with that this season. Randolph is here. Good to see Randolph Phillips. Game day blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. The referee aided Boston in their win last night. Seems like every move to the basket was a foul. Kate did his best. Yeah, it's Ed Malloy. I'm telling you, every time you see Ed Malloy refereeing a Boston Celtics game, he's helping them. He is specifically helping that team often. I've noticed this. Celtics fans, you get all high and mighty with your record and feel so good, but you guys have a referee on your staff, apparently, because every time Ed Malloy referees the Celtics game, he is helping y'all. He's holding y'all's hands. And some teams have stuff going against them, like the Pistons and the Raptors. Well, you got a ref helping you, and that's Ed Malloy. I'll call it out every single time. I'll broadcast it and say it over and over again out loud. Nobody's watching me for that to say, no, you can't say that. No, I believe it, and I've seen it. I've seen the evidence over the years. Ed Malloy is a referee manipulator for the NBA, and he will make sure a certain team wins no matter what. The NBA tells him to. He goes to that city. He makes sure that team wins. And last night it was Boston over the Pistons. The NBA could not have the top team in the East lose to the worst team and break their losing streak, no matter how hard they tried. And if Randolph Phillips, a good, honorable person, saw it with his own two eyes watching the game, well, I believe him. I believe him. They could call fouls and put them on the line so much at the end of the game to help prop up their score. Yeah, ref manipulation, Ed Malloy, Boston Celtics. Over and over again. I'm going to call it out every single time Ed Malloy referee manipulates for a team when I see it. And I know that's what probably happened last night. That's right. Isaac saying 4:20 game day start. 4:20 game day start? What are you talking about, Isaac? No, the game's at 7:30 tonight. Yeah, it's at regular time. What are you talking about? 4:20 game day start? No. And I haven't gone out back yet either. Monique is saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Stay focused, play together. Hey, Lex, now you know why I give up on the 905 so much. Shaking my head. Showcase 905. All right, she's brought them up, so let's talk about them. Listen, Monique, it's not their fault. In some ways, this is a Jekyll and Hyde team. You've got to understand this. This is a very good team, and they're going to be good for this G League regular season. It's just that they had a back-to-back in the last 2 days, and there were a couple of different factors that contributed to them getting blown out by the Capital City Go-Go last night. First of all, they played in Westchester on Wednesday night. They traveled to D.C. I do not know how they traveled. They could have taken a bus for all I know. If they were riding a bus after taking a game and going straight to D.C., that's tiring. That's not getting good rest. And if they're doing it like the NBA team, they're flying, then they're still getting in at like 4 a.m. So first of all, they probably did not get any sleep after the Westchester Knicks game. Second, that Westchester Knicks game was high energy. It was very high scoring. They scored 140 points. So they might have been really worn out after really kicking butt and beating the showcase champion. Third, so apparently we lost a bunch of players over 24 hours from the night before. 3 players did not show up last night, and I don't know exactly why. I may find out real soon. I'm going to tell you all in a second. Justice Winslow did not play for the 905 last night because it's a back-to-back, and he's coming back from an injury, and he's not allowed to play back-to-backs because of his injury from before. He's still coming back, so he was ruled out for the game last night. We very much missed the defense and toughness of Justice Winslow. And then 2 of the 3 two-ways was not playing last night, and they were not on the bench wearing street clothes. Javon Freeman Liberty having a huge game. the night before against the Westchester Knicks. And Jonte Porter, our latest acquisition, neither one of them were at the game last night. So I'm speculating this, Monique, that Jonte Porter and Javon Freeman-Liberty are in Boston, and they've been activated to play with the Raptors against the Celtics tonight. And because of the back-to-back nature of the 9:05 games in the last 2 days, they decided to give them the night off last night and bring them straight to Boston and have them practice with the big club. And now they may be playing tonight to help with this back-to-back against the Celtics and the Pistons with the main roster Raptors. So that's what I'm speculating right now, is that Porter and Javon may be in Raptor jerseys tonight and available to play for the Raptors. If that's not the case, then I'm completely wrong. And then these guys are just in limbo. And once again, I'm confused about how we're managing our 905 team with our main Raptors roster. Because honestly, if they weren't available to play tonight, why didn't they play last night? Are they hurt? What is going on? And part of the reason why the 905 did so badly last night is they didn't have bodies once again. They only had 8 players. They played 8 guys. Meanwhile, the Capital City Go-Go played 10 guys, and they really ran us off the court. It was not that competitive, the game. They were beating us most of the game. At halftime, they came back from half, and I was like, well, let's see what you can do. Well, the Go-Go went and go-go'd really, really hard and crazy. Got 40-something points on us in the third quarter and didn't look back, and it was a rout. It was a rout. And in the third quarter, it was very evident our guys were completely tired and could not keep up with Capital City Go-Go. It's the back-to-back. It's the lack of players on the team right now, 8 players. And the sad thing was they're getting routed, and all the starters had to play all the way into the bitter end because there was no bench to put in for garbage time. So that whole entire fourth quarter and half of the third quarter was garbage time, to be honest. And it was Marquise Noel, Mohamedou Gueye, and Kobe Simmons and the rest that were able to play last night, Kevin O'Banner, that were playing in the garbage time. So I'm making excuses for them, but it's realistic, real excuses. And Monique, don't expect this to be who they are last night. It's somewhere in between the 2 games, the last 3 days. There's somewhere in between. And in some ways, when they're fully healthy and they're all available to be there, they're a very good team. But if they're not, and they're not all there, and they're not having very many players, well, they're what they were last night. And so you got to figure out who's there or not before you just say, oh, 905 is just garbage. You know, last night was more like the Showcase Cup because of a lack of players. Once again, it's the same thing that hurt them in the Showcase Cup what happened last night. But we'll do the 3 stars real quick. It was a tough game. 143 to 109 is the final score. The 905 did not play defense the whole entire game. They did not do any kind of resistance to stop the Capital City Go-Go. They scored at least 32 points every single quarter, the Go-Go, and 42 in the third, 36 in the fourth quarter, 33 in the first. That's you're letting them do whatever they want. And they were sharpshooting from the outside. They were going into the lane and getting whatever they want near the basket too. So yeah, 905, very poor defensive effort. I don't know if that we were wondering about it in the chat last night, if Jonte's absence was really that impactful. We also noted, G was noting that Justice Winslow would have been very helpful defensively in certain ways in the game. Yeah, so that's the problem right there. We only had 3 guys playing off the bench. And meanwhile, Capital City Go-Go had 5. They went 10 deep. We only had 8. And we had no choice. There was nobody else on the bench to help. So we were just outmanned. My 3 players of the game, it's mixed. Like, I don't really feel like giving it to this guy because in some ways he was a part of the problem last night. Kobe Simmons is my number 1 star of the game for the 905. He had his career high, or not his career high. He had his season high for this year, 26 points, 11 of 19 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers, and a minus 30. One of the worst plus minuses on the team, but he was our leading scorer, and he was one of the only guys that was capably scoring consistently throughout the whole entire game. I begrudgingly give Kobe Simmons the first star of the game. The second star of the game is Mohamedou Gueye. He was okay. He was 7 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers, a minus 17, 15 points, and 32 minutes. Mo Gee could do better, but you know what? That was a tough game. And in some ways, they were really looking for him with lobs all over the place. And at one point, he was throwing lobs to people. But he was trying to throw a lob to like Daryl Morseau, and I'm like, that's the wrong way. You shouldn't be throwing it to him. You should he should be throwing it to you because you're the best lob threat out there, Muhammadu. But yeah, valiant effort by him. But once again, he's not a true center. And if you're trying to play him as your only big on the court with size and stuff, Raptors 905, you're not going to get anywhere with that. You're not going to get anywhere with that. He cannot guard the paint or lock people out. He just doesn't have the size. My third star is Miles Burns, the rookie, coming in off the bench. And it's not even that impressive. 22 minutes, 10 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Yeah, it's that kind of night. It's like I'm struggling to make the 3 stars of the game because they played so badly. You know, Marquise Noel kind of had a bad game last night. He was the worst plus minus out of all the Raptors 905, a minus 36, 6 of 19 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, 1 rebound, 2 assists, only 2 assists by Marquise with 3 turnovers. That's a big bad sign that Marquise had a bad game. 14 points. So yeah, I didn't like that. Daryl Morseau getting the start with all the injuries, 6 of 14, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, a minus 21 with 14 points. Another just kind of hollow, shallow, empty line. O'Banner continues his shooting woes from the last 2 games, 3 of 9. 0 for 3 from 3, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, a minus 32 with 12 points in 40 minutes. Yeah, that's not the output that Kevin O'Banner had been doing in the last week in the Showcase Cup. Maker off the bench, 6 points, 2 of 3, 4 rebounds. And Jayshawn Page coming out there and chucking shots up like crazy, 5 of 13, 2 of 8. 12 points in 27 minutes. It just overall, what are you going to do? They're hurt. They got a bunch of guys that are just not playing well. And plus, the Capital City Go-Go had all 3 of their 2-ways playing, and they were active. Eugene Omoruyi, Canadian, who played in the Wizards game against us on Wednesday, showed up and played in this game last night, and he dominated. In some ways, he was the big part of the story of what happened last night. Is Omoruyi came out there, and he had 25 points, 10 of 11 shooting. He just missed 1 shot. And he was really killing it. So, yeah, their 2-ways were out there, and they were killing us. Another Canadian guy, Mulder, got out there and was messing us up too. So, yeah, that's the story right there. It's just Jekyll and Hyde, Monique. And some nights we're going to get Dr. Jekyll, and some nights we're going to get Mr. Hyde. And, well, the Wednesday night, they got Dr. Jekyll. And last night we got Mr. Hyde. So, yeah, let's hide the results of the bad 905 game from last night. Very, very bad route. Very, very bad route. But there's a lot of factors contributed to it. They'll be playing again tomorrow. So we'll have a double duty day again with the Pistons game and the Raptors 905 playing also tomorrow. All right, let's get back into the comments real quick here. Yeah. 905, disappointing. But you know what? There's going to be ups and downs. And it's a long G League season. They're now 1-1, and there's still a lot of promise, Monique. Don't count them out. If they get healthy and they have everybody available, they win. And that's what I'll say right now. Yeah. Let's see. Firebolt's here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Happy game day. Happy game day to you, Firebolt, TGIF, my friend. And I hope that you have a fantastic start to your last weekend of 2023. That's right. Today, tomorrow, and then New Year's Eve on Sunday. Woo, let's go. All right, and there's no breaks from me. It's all game day previews and reactions right on through because we're playing on New Year's Day against the Cavaliers on Monday. Yeah, Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Hoping the Celtics play us the same way they played yesterday. Yeah, this would be a good thing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I know y'all were on the edge of your seat watching that Celtics game last night. Really, really hoping that the Pistons could pull it off. I was too. But yeah, that guy who showed up, fiercely saying it, Ed Malloy is the NBA hitman. And I'm telling you, he's very dubious. He is dubious as hell. And NBA, we're on to you with him. I can tell he does manipulative shit every time he takes the court in certain games. Certain teams are playing. If it's garbage teams or certain teams, he don't care. He can play a regular referee night. But there's quite often, there's a very much objective that Ed Malloy has to take care of when he shows up to certain games. In fact, he may be in cahoots with betting lines. He could be in cahoots with Shams and the Bet Rivers and all those stupid people too. I wouldn't put it past it. There's very much a history of the NBA being in cahoots with betting and bookers and mafiosos and all that kind of stuff. Ed Malloy, Scott Foster, the top two candidates for being in arms with organized crime and manipulating NBA games to make spreads happen a certain way so that things go right. Yeah. Never trust when you see Ed Malloy at a game. Just trust me. Firebolt saying, "Oh crap, I didn't realize 905 played last night. I'll have to catch the replay if it's still up." Honestly, Firebolt, don't bother. It's not worth watching. They got their butts kicked bad. They didn't look good, and it's not enjoyable. You will not enjoy watching that 905 game last night. It was a complete rout, and the Capital City Go-Go just kicked our butt. We were on the second night of a back-to-back, and it fully showed in the second half. These guys didn't play. They didn't show up. Jillian's here. Good morning, peeps. Good morning to you, Jillian. TGIF. I hope you're having a great morning so far. Cool Cat saying, "Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Game day." Yes. Cool Cat's always all business, especially when it's the Celtics. Yeah, this is serious stuff. Raptors, you felt good after winning against the Wizards on Wednesday. Well, you beat the Celtics on Friday. You'll feel even better. So let's go ahead and beat them tonight. Yeah, I'm fully predicting Jason's going to be out and Jalen's going to be back. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to run with one of their superstars tonight on the 2-night back-to-back. And then we're going to get Jaylen Brown on our night because they got Jason Tatum last night. Kevin Thompson saying, "Flynn, Thaddeus, Otto, all free agents after the season. I hope we give JFL, Porter, and Winslow a chance next year." Yeah, I'd love to see that, Kevin. Good morning to you. You know what? We'll just have to see. Well, there's a lot that's going to happen before then. Even with the offseason, you're looking at the offseason. I'm looking at the midseason. I'm looking at the trade deadline. I'm looking at things that got to get sorted out with major names on our team that have contracts that are going to be coming around in this summer coming up. So I want to see what they do. Jillian saying, "Is 905 being taken seriously?" I wonder about this. See, this is something that I wonder about. Like if I was in charge of the Raptors in any kind of way between the two teams, like if I was Bobby Webster or Luke Wynn or Masai Ujiri or Darko Rajakovic or Eric Curry, I would really maybe that's what the problem is. Who's deciding the decisions with personnel and moving back and forth? Because I feel like the management between the Raptors and the 905 has been very poor in the last 2 years. That there's no logic to why you send guys certain places or go here or go there. It's like you could game advantages, but the 905 and the Raptors do not utilize them. Also, I don't understand if their oversight over the 905 is taking in how good certain players are playing and realizing that maybe they need to catch that lightning in a bottle and bring it up to the main club. I've said this since Jonte showed up, that he could help the main roster. And if anybody's analyzing 905 to see if they're helpful to help the Raptors, why aren't we doing more with movement between the two teams and integrating the talents of the 905 into the main roster? And also on the flip side, it's very important how they manage Grady Dick and how he flips between the main roster and the 905. I feel like this has been mismanaged all last season and this year so far. We haven't really had any management of it this year. Last year, I saw all kinds of good opportunities for advantages that just passed by, that nobody did anything. I was like, well, you should send this person there because this makes sense, or this should happen this way. I don't know why they do what they do with where they send who and what between these two teams. It doesn't make any logical sense half the time. And that's why I'm wondering if they're mismanaging the G League team by accident, or just because there's something going on with positions, or there's just some miscommunication, or there's a disconnect between the two teams and how they should go about shifting talents between the two teams. This has been something that I've had a big, huge question mark for all of last year. It was confusing as hell. Jeffrey Doughton getting activated many, many games as a two-way, never seeing the court, wasting his two-way eligibility last year, Nick Nurse. And this year, Darko's not even taking the two-way eligibility and using it yet, which is weird to me. Maybe he's of this philosophy. I want them to be here for the whole time, and I don't want to jerk them around. So I'm not going to use them for the first half of the season. And then at the end of the season, I can activate all of them to get all of their useful games used, and I can just use them whenever I want to for the end of the season. And there's no herky jerkiness. Then there maybe be a more fluid period of time that Javon, Freeman, Liberty, Marquise Noel, Jonte Porter play with the main roster. Like instead of saying, oh, you're going to play like a section of 10 games in November, maybe like 10 games in January, and then 10 games in February, 10 games in March. No, maybe they're like, we're going to let you play the whole second half of the season on our team. I don't know. I wish I knew more about what their inclinations and logic for why they do the decisions between 905 and Raptors better. In some ways, if you just had some sort of protocol or some sort of way of doing things between the two that's established in the history, I would understand it better. But there is no rhyme or reason. This has been different for all the years of the G League. It depends on the coach, I guess the assistant coach, or maybe Casey or Nurse or Royakovich. I don't know why they do what they do between the teams. I wish you could illuminate things for us a little bit better so that we would understand. And I would be like, wow, our team is really managing this better. In some ways, this may be an opportunity for the Raptors front office to show in goodwill that they know what they're doing to the casuals and the idiots that don't, by doing good management between the 905 and the Raptors that makes sense. That like, oh, we're going to send these guys to Boston tonight, and Jonte and Javon are going to play tonight for the Raptors against the Celtics. You know, they could easily plug Jonte Porter into Jalen McDaniels minutes from last Wednesday, from Wednesday night against the Wizard. You could easily do that, Darko, and it wouldn't be a big deal. You know, I know he hasn't practiced a lot with the main Raptors, but he really fit in with the 905 without knowing any of them. Those guys are higher level at the Raptors, and he knows your playbook. He's played your style from Memphis before. So it's not like Jonte's coming in as a totally fresh newbie who doesn't know what you're doing. So I'm like, why wouldn't you play Jonte Porter tonight? Why not? We need an extra big. Why not bring him up and play him? He didn't play last night. He was not on the bench in street clothes. So I've got to speculate and wonder he's in Boston with the main roster, just like Javon, Freeman, Liberty. Yeah, Javon comes back from injury, and maybe he didn't play last night because he's on the second night of a back-to-back and just came back from injury. That could be why JFL didn't play last night. But it could also be that they're taking the skip day and they're coming to Boston tonight to play for the Raptors. I can only hope. I can only speculate because once again, I have no fucking clue what they're doing with 905 in the main roster and how they do what they do. I really, really don't. I wish I did know. I wish I did. In some ways, this would tell me, Jillian, if they are taking it seriously or not. That would tell me if I could figure that all out. Fiercely saying that Kevin Thompson, I wonder who will sign Malachi. That Thad is somewhat valuable in terms of vet presence. Otto a bit more as he helps early in games. He just needs to stay healthy. You know, Thaddeus is a great contract filler for making a deal. You know, if we need to make a money chunk in a deal, like if we're going to trade somebody and we need that filler contract, because he's expiring at the end of the year, he's very attractive to be put into a trade piece as a trade part of a trade. So I could see Thad getting traded with whatever trade we do as part of a secondary player of it. It makes a lot of sense. Now, Otto's shown a lot of really good stuff for us. I don't think we're going to trade Otto, especially since we had him sit out the whole last year. And we've been wanting to reap the rewards of having him on our team and paying him the contract he's getting right now. So I don't see us moving Otto, and I don't know if we'll re-sign him next offseason. We may just get him for this rest of this year, and hopefully he's very fruitful and productive for us. Now, Flynn, you know where I stand on him. There's no way that Malachi should be getting an offer from us next summer unless he does some miraculous shit before the end of the season. There's no way he should be getting an offer from us. If he is, I'm really going to question them. Like, they have something on Masai Ujiri, Eric Flynn, then that's the only reason why he's still in the Raptors jersey. Seriously, they must be blackmailing somebody, the Flynn family. That's the only way I could see him being here still. But yeah, you know, we'll have to see. Y'all are talking about off season. I'm still thinking about tonight, tomorrow night, next. And then, you know, the trade stuff could happen anytime coming up. The Siakam deadline is tomorrow, apparently. So let's see if something happens in the next little bit. Trevor J saying Monty Williams, big money, and now he's the most wanted by the NBA to take him down. Listen, that's what the big decision was about. You can be richer than you've ever thought in your entire life, but you're gonna, it's like a deal with the devil. Would you take that big, huge payday, but you may live in hell? It's really that kind of thing right now. What's going on with Monty? In some ways, it's like, look, this is a lot of grief. You may be going and you may be getting paid a lot of money, but you may be going in the history books for the wrong reason. And that's that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. And in some ways, you probably didn't see this possibility of happening with the Pistons, where you would be looking at this futility mark. But that's just how it is, man. You got Casey coming up over the border looking for a job here, it looks like. Kevin Thompson saying, I like Otto, but he barely plays. Might as well get someone healthy and ready to contribute every game. I have a theory that, once again, Darko's holding off on a lot of different things for later, just to have the wealth of weapons for later. And one of them is Otto. He's ramping him up slowly but surely, and he's staying healthy. But I'll bet you, hopefully, like the two ways, Otto Porter Jr. will factor in more and more as the season goes on. Hang on just a second. There's somebody. So hopefully he stays healthy and we see more of him near the end of the season, and hopefully for a meaningful reason, like something to do with the playoffs. Let's see. G saying, if Pascal is not extended by the 30th, he cannot be traded for at least 6 months, from my understanding. I don't think the plan is to trade him anytime soon. They extend him after the 30th. He cannot be traded for 6 months. Okay. This is interesting. So what's 6 months? It's the middle of the off season. All right. I like this. In some ways, this could be a symbol that we aren't keeping him long term if we don't do anything. All right. So let's see what happens. The 30th goes by. This means Siakam's probably sticking around. So hopefully, let's see what happens. If he gets extended in the next 24 hours, then we know it possibly is for flexibility to trade him still this season. This is very good information. Thank you, G. And well, Bobby and Masai, you figure it out. The deadline's tomorrow. Let's see what you do with Siakam. And well, we'll know a little bit more after tomorrow, the future of Siakam. A little bit more, yeah. Monique saying, fun fact. Hang on. No, I jumped ahead. Fun stat. Scotty Barnes would need to miss his next 62 attempts to match his overall three-point shooting numbers from last season. That's not a fun fact or stat. That's a horrible stat. I hate that. I don't want him to miss his next 62 attempts. Nah, listen. He's all right. This is what the stat is, Monique. He's already matched his shots from last season. That's what the stat is. The stat is that Scotty's increased his three-point shooting so much this season, and he's shooting so much better that he's equaled his amount of threes that he made last season already this early in the season. That's what the stat is. I don't know what this means. Miss his next 62 attempts. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, I get what you're saying, but I don't want to talk about the negative side of it. The side that he has made as many threes as he did last season already this season is stupendous. That's a crazy, crazy increase of three-point marksmanship just for 1 year. It's insane, actually. Players don't usually get a bump up like this crazy high in percentages. So, yeah, it's a really huge success story about Scotty and his three-point shooting this year. He's already made the same amount of threes he made last season right now. In December, he still has a bunch of months to play. It's crazy. Fiercely saying, so nice to hear there's a lot of talent in Canada. Yeah, 2 players on the 905 or not on the Capital City Go-Go, Canadian players, Mulder and Omaruyi. Ruyi was really a battling. And some of the stuff with between him and Kevin O'Banner was really intense, physical, down low fighting. But Eugene Omaruyi, he's an NBA player. He's a two-way. He's playing down there with the little fish. Well, he can dominate in that pond. Yeah, he can. They had a hard time saying Kevin O'Banner's name on the broadcast last night. The Go-Go announcers calling him O'Banner. I don't know. It's O'Banner, bro. You kept saying O'Banner. Kevin O'Banner. The other announcers in G League are hilarious. Dee Lynam, the daughter of Jim Lynam, the old Philadelphia and Washington coach, doing the announcing for them too. She's hilarious too. She was kind of really getting feisty at times during the broadcast last night. Very feisty, Dee Lynam. Let's see. All right, let's see. Cool Cat is saying, I like the premise of making 905 players available for the main club. We have a back-to-back in Celtics and Pistons. We need to avoid the story with the Pistons. Yeah. I mean, they don't mind sacrificing the game against Capital City Go-Go last night by sending Jonte and Javon to Boston tonight. I want to see this. Now, if I don't see them there, or they don't, like, they're not even there or anything like that, I'm going to be like, what the hell are we doing? Where are these guys? Why wasn't Jonte and Javon at least, they're healthy. Why weren't they there to help the 905? I'll believe there's mismanagement going on. And in some ways, I'll wonder if it's some of the chicanery weirdness that happened last year with the confusion of where we're going or whether we're trying. And this year, if it's the same thing, like if y'all are really trying to keep your top 6 pick, Masai and Bobby, and you're manipulating things by screwing around with the 905 movement and the Raptors, don't do that. Because in some ways, you're messing with the development of young men like Delano Banton, Christian Coloco, and Grady Dick. So get this right. In some ways, this is like weird tanking that you mess with the G League and like not making them go together or make any sense. Well, if you're tanking your development for some reason, that doesn't make any sense. You sound like you're shooting yourself in the foot. And you really dropped the ball with Coloco and Banton last year with the back and forth between the two teams. I don't want to see it happening again this year. And if it's in the charge of Darko, delineate yourself away from the confusion of last year. Make it make sense, Rajakovic. Make it make sense to me that Jonte and Javon didn't play for the 905 last night. Please make it sense. Make it make sense for me. And let me see them in Raptors jerseys tonight and actually play. Please. Because in some ways, we need them for tonight. We may need them for tomorrow. I don't know. But in some ways, those two ways better be up there. And I got to understand why you got Marquise still down on the lower level, because in some ways, they really need his leadership on the 905. That's for sure. But yeah, make it make sense for me, please, Raptors. Whatever you're doing between the two teams, because it doesn't totally make sense to me. It hasn't for a while. And I'm sick of it. I want to utilize our G League team to its fullest resources to help the main roster. And in some ways, the main roster can help the 905 too. Seriously, let's think about balancing it so both teams can be successful and really help both sides. Whether it's Grady going there, Coloco going there, whatever going there, coming up here, Jonte, whatever it can do to have the symbiotic relationship of the G League, 905, and the Raptors work better and help each other. Whatever we can do. G saying, Cool Cat, yes, we need to avoid that story, the Pistons, by all means necessary. Yeah. Yes. In some ways, that's why Ed Malloy was there, to make sure that the game against us is all the pressure in the world, because that's the record-breaking game. They tied it last night. They tied it. Now, if we beat them tomorrow night, the Pistons will go in the record books. And they don't want that. You saw how they were fighting with the Celtics last night. That's why this game tomorrow is going to be so tough. The Raptors have a very tough back-to-back. They're in Boston tonight against the Celtics, and then they got to go to the Pistons, who are like a wounded, shot in the leg dog in the backyard that wants to bite your leg off right now. And that's what I'm saying. These guys cannot be lackadaisical, unprofessional, or any kind of not coming correct like they had been in the last month, either tonight or tomorrow. In some ways, I don't mind them just forget about tonight. Go ahead and just lose tonight. But you better for damn sure make sure you don't lose the Pistons tomorrow, Raptors. I'm going to tell you that right now, because that's not going to be pretty. And then, you know what? It's going to happen. This will set up some things. People are going to come and say the front office, the coach, they need to be fired because we lost to a team that had lost so many times. In some ways, the NBA may be setting this shit up. It's like they're so mad at Masai, they really want to give good bullets for him to get fired. And that's what I'm worried about right now. So Raptors, if you love your front office, if you love your coach, if you love playing for the Raptors, y'all need to have some pride right now, and y'all need to play at a very high level and win some of these games right now. Tonight, I just want to see a good effort. You play the Celtics well, you play it close. If you can win, that's great. But if you don't win, I'm not going to be upset. Now, tomorrow, you better for damn sure win when you play the Pistons tomorrow, because you have to win this game, because you cannot make the history. the wrong side of history. In fact, you want to be on the right side of history, and they can be on the wrong side of history forever. And you don't need to be there for that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Infamous is saying, salute freaks. I have another theory as well regarding the 905. Maybe a trade is coming. The 905 team looked tired. I applaud the efforts. Yeah, they were very tired. They were very tired, undermanned, and just didn't have a chance. They just didn't have a chance. That other team ran them off the court. In fact, the other coach very much made the successful strategy of understanding this. Oh, they're on the second night of a back-to-back. Oh, they only have 8 players available. Yeah, let's run them off the court. That's what I wish we would do and recognize those kind of situations and take advantages. It's like players take advantages of mismatches and their matchup for the night. They're kind of already thinking, yeah, I'm going to play this person tonight. I'm going to do this to them, this to them. Well, I want the coaches, I want the organization to look at the situations going to games and gamemanship advantages like the Go-Go did against us last night. It was very calculated by the Go-Go's coach, a former college coach. That was very smart strategy to run us off the court. I see these advantages sometimes where we're playing against a team that's on a back-to-back coming in and we're fresh. And I don't see us take advantage of that kind of stuff properly by playing an extended rotation and like really keeping guys fresh and playing up tempo the whole entire game. But that's what the Go-Go did last night, very successfully, ran us off the court. And kudos to the guys who were there that tried, but really didn't add up to anything and really, really got embarrassed in some ways. Monique saying, I hope we tire out the Celtics even more after their game last night. See, that's the thing that I'm talking about right there. The Celtics just went overtime against a team that they were really scared about losing to. And in some ways, we're the rested team. We've been in Boston. We came to Boston yesterday, and we got good rest. And we should be ready for tonight. And Boston should look like the tired team tonight. Are you able to do this, Darko, where you can try and run the Celtics off the court just a little bit? Please try and run them tired all over the place. That's why I say do a 10-man rotation, but keep them quick and fresh by quick substitutions, by bringing in the right people at the right time. Don't let certain guys get too tired by the end of the game. Let them be fresh the whole game, and then boom, play your best guys late, and hopefully the Celtics aren't so fresh and they're tired. They're looking like they had an overtime game against the Pistons last night, even though they didn't have to travel, which is an advantage in a back-to-back. And that was a similar advantage that the Washington Wizards had earlier this week too, but they lost. I'm just saying, utilize your advantages, Darko, whether it's 905 stuff, whether it's back-to-back advantages is what I'm saying. Yeah, let's see. Fiercely saying Celtics versus Pistons. The first half I had doubts. Ain't no way the top shooting team, three-pointers, kept missing their shots, bunnies, layups. It was so weird. It actually felt staged. Well, I don't put it past the NBA to make drama and try and, do fake shit, do some Survivor reality show like production meetings with contestants or telling them we're going to do this. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them that. I mean, in some ways they want storylines. Yeah, they do. They want storylines and they want drama. And if they can manufacture that or they can make it happen some sort of way, yeah, they will. So, yeah, you felt like it was staged. I didn't watch the game. I don't know. I can't tell you. But I wouldn't put it past them. Chris is here. MSJ's here. Good to see Chris. Hello, it's MSJ. I smoked something yesterday and went all goofy as normal. Haha. Got thinking of nicknames. Scotty Flex. Anyway, Boston tired tonight. I hope Brown is still out. Feel the win. Well, I'm speculating this, Chris, that they're going to flip the superstars. And it'll be Brown playing tonight, and Tatum will sit tonight. That's what they've been doing for a couple of years with the Celtics, with Jason and Jalen. Sometimes they're not a good pair to be on the court together, so they give them designated nights on back-to-backs. They'll rest one of them on one night, and they'll play the other one the other night. So I'm fully expecting Tatum to sit out tonight and Jaylen Brown to return tonight. That's usually their pattern, and it's indicated in the injury report this morning, just so you know. Yeah, whatever you smoked yesterday, you were being silly. He's in our Raptor Freak Facebook chat yesterday, trying to come up with Scotty nicknames. He even went to Chat GPT and put it in. What should Scotty Barnes' nicknames be? And they were the most generic, stupid nicknames I've ever seen. They actually put out Barnes and Noble as one of his nicknames. I was like, that's a defunct bookstore. It's probably still copyrighted. That's a silly-ass name. That's a silly-ass name, Barnes and Noble. No, we're not calling Scotty Barnes and Noble. That's the old-ass bookstore that's probably out of business. I don't even know if Barnes & Noble still exists. Plus, it's copyrighted Chat GPT. Why would we say that, Barnes and Noble? All right, let me go do this. All right, Chris, since you brought it up, and this is kind of funny, Chris went and did this AI thing with asking it what Scotty Barnes' nickname should be, and it's ridiculous. And what the names they gave were, and I'm gonna break them down. I broke them down in the chat too. They were absolutely ridiculous and stupid, honestly. Now, Chris, all right, you were pretty funny. Now, I want to preface this as saying it's stupid to try and come up with a nickname for Scotty because it's not going to stick. I spent a whole summer with Scott on Twitch, and I used to pitch him nicknames because I wanted to see if he was interested in any of the nicknames I had for him, and he ignored them. He's not all about getting a nickname that way. I don't even know if he wants totally a nickname in the correct way right now. I think that he just kind of wants to be himself, and it'll happen organically and naturally. Now, the person that is in charge of making the nicknames up for Scotty Barnes is Matt Devlin. It's Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong. They made him Scotty Roy at the end of his rookie season, which helped him get the Rookie of the Year. So it really isn't like something that a fan or Chris or me or anybody's going to come up and give to him. It's going to be Matt Devlin that makes him his nickname. So yeah, let me go over these Chat GPT stupid suggestions for Scotty's nickname that Chris put in yesterday. They're saying that, all right, these are the suggestions that Chat GPT AI came up for nicknames for Scotty. The first one is Swiss Army Scotty. Swiss Army Scotty. Does that roll off the tongue? In some ways, what matters is alliteration. Is like it makes sense. It feels like it just sounds right. Swiss Army Scotty. That's almost a tongue twister, and it's so dumb. In some ways, I get it. It's about him being able to do all kinds of things, and that's what Chat GPT said. It's like because he's versatile. He's a Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army Scotty. No, you can't market that. What are you going to do? You're going to get Swiss Army knives and put his face on them? Swiss Army Scotty, Swiss Army Scotty. No, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard, Chat GPT. You idiots. And we want to test the limits of AI and its stupidity right now. The second name was Barnes and Noble. I already went over that. Like, why is that a stupid name, Chat GPT? Because that's a defunct old warehouse of Clarence books. And I don't even know if Barnes and Nobles even exists at this point. So you want us to nickname our player after a broken down, out of business bookstore? What the hell is that? What is that message? That we're going to call him Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble. That insinuates that there's a second person. Does he have a split personality named Noble? Is he Barnes at one point and Noble half the time too? It's like, I do declare I'm King Noble. Oh, no, Scotty, did you hit your head? No, I am Noble. What is this? What is this Barnes and Noble crap? All right, let's keep going. There's a couple more. They're really silly. They're really silly. This third one was Lockdown Scotty. All right, listen. Is this some sort of cruel joke about the 1 year that Scotty had at Florida State as a Seminole when he was in lockdown the whole entire year that he was in university? That's not very nice. Oh, you're talking about his defense? Well, let me see. I can beat AI right here. You're going to call him Lockdown Scotty? How about Mr. 94 Feet? That sounds a little bit better to me, and that's one I came up with earlier, a couple of years, a year or so ago. Mr. 94 Feet, because of his penchant for wanting to do full court press and being all up on people. Mr. 94 Feet. Do you like Mr. 94 Feet, or do you want Scotty Lockdown? In some ways, Scotty Lockdown is traumatizing. It makes me think of the pandemic. I don't want to think about lockdowns. It's like so stupid. All right, the next one was The Artist. What the hell is this generic nickname? The Artist. We're just going to call Scotty Barnes The Artist. What is this? Is he Prince? Is in 2 years he going to be a symbol? What is this? The Artist. The Artist. That is so generic and so lazy, Chat GPT, that you would say his nickname should be The Artist. What? You know what I called him? I called him the Throwback Jukebox. That's right, the old school jukebox. That's a way better one. I call him the old school jukebox because he's out there doing old school moves from the 80s and 90s. He's like a throwback. He can do the Magic Johnson baby hook. He can do the Dirk Nowitzki little pop-up on the elbow. He's an old school jukebox is what I call him. That's way better than The Artist. What is that? What is that? He wouldn't want to call a jukebox anyway. And then the last one is Scotty Hustle. Oh, come on now. You can call any player Hustle something. Scotty Hustle. Sure. Okay. I like Scotty Basketball. Yeah, I like that one. We know what his nickname is, Chris. His nickname is Scotty 3. That is the current flavor of the month that Matt Devlin's calling out Scotty 3, because he's making so many threes and his last name is B. So Scotty 3 makes sense. Now, sometimes he's Scotty 4th because he takes over in the fourth quarter. In some ways, it's like, look, his nickname is going to probably get figured out either by a big media conglomerate or a corporate product, or maybe Matt Devlin will come up with strike gold and boom, Austrian hammer, boom, spin wash, spicy P. You know, he's the one who gives these guys these nicknames. OG for 3. You know, it's not us. We cannot try and force this. I came up with Dread Baron, Scotty Von Barnstormer, the very first month that he showed up. I was like, let's think of a nickname for Scotty. Dread Baron, Scotty Von Barnstormer. Yeah, like a barnstormer airplane that flies through a barn. Like, I thought that the way he flew into the lane and he just jammed it. It's like, let's make him the Dread Baron. He wears red and he has dreads. Dread Baron is what I was calling him for a while. I think the name Baron, it implies royalty and regalness. So I was saying Dread Baron. It's called Scotty Dread Baron. That's a good one. And even the extended name is Scotty Von Barnstormer. Yeah, I mean, whatever. We can come up with good nicknames. It doesn't mean they're going to take. And, you know, there's been ones in the history of the Raptors that did not take. They tried to call Lowry the Bulldog of Bay Street for a while. Lowry hated that nickname. Some people still use that nickname for Lowry, like my friend Stevie Roots. I tell him, don't do that. That's disrespectful to the GOAT. He said he hated that nickname. He does not want to be called a dog. He does not want to be called a bulldog in particular. So these guys will reject nicknames. You know, if Matt Devlin says something on the broadcast, they may come along and say, you know what, I didn't really like you calling me that name. All right, we won't do that. You know, hey, Strizzy, when you do your call out for the introductions at the beginning of the game, could you maybe not say that little part that you say and you switch up your little rhymes, you know, from the way by way of the UK, you know, that stuff. Yeah. You know, this is where these guys get their nicknames, is from people like Mark Strizzy and Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong. Alvin Williams. That's where they get their nicknames. And you know, Chris, you could try and figure out their nicknames. Scotty Flex. What is that? Because he does his little flex. Okay, I get it. But I'm telling you, I could come up with 1,000 nicknames. I could show them to Scott all day long, and he wouldn't be interested in any of them. He's going to figure out what he wants to be or who he's going to be. And by the end of it, we'll have the right nickname for him. It'll be in the right sweet spot. It'll make sense. It'll be one that he loves. It'll be genuinely accepted by the whole Raptors nation and utilized. So, yeah, we can't force this kind of stuff. In some ways, I love Scotty basketball. I love Dread Baron. I love Mr. 94 Feet. They're all great nicknames, the ones that I came up with, but he didn't like them. He didn't like any of them that I told him. You should be Scotty basketball. He's like, okay. You're always playing basketball and video games or thinking about basketball. Or you love the NBA. You're always there doing basketball stuff. Scotty basketball. Well, I don't know, Raptors freak. You know, it was kind of like that when we were asking him what nicknames he would like. You know, we were throwing them at him. There were certain streams where we were throwing nicknames at him, and he wasn't really having any of them. Not really, no. But yeah, you're good, man, Chris. You were a little goofy yesterday. It was hilarious. And that Chat GPT thing, this could be fun for some other stuff later in the future of the stream, doing fun things with Chat GPT, like me carving it up for their dumb suggestions from yesterday. Pretty funny. The artist. Come on. How generic and dumb is that? Come on, Chat GPT. You could do better. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Cool Cat saying those 905 players call up should be used on the main club before trade deadline. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would just love to see like these guys get utilized. I just want to see some sort of logic to what we're doing with these two teams. Just some sort of like that makes sense. I just want to see them do something. Oh, that was brilliant. Good job. I want to feel like that they're fully utilizing the G League system with the Raptors and making it make sense in logical ways that like they're really utilizing this. I want to feel like that. And I don't. I didn't feel like it at all last year. I felt like it was a big, huge F. Fail. Delano, Christian. That was horrible what happened with them last year and the way that things went back and forth. They dropped the ball. Delano had a much better rookie season getting developed by us. And last year was absolutely a drop in the ball. He was such a ball of thunder coming in the season, was doing so good, coming from the FIBA event in South America, playing for Canada. He had such a good summer league. And then he came in the season and his everything with his development just dropped off the face of the earth. And I really blame a miscommunication between 905 and the main roster and Delano Banton in particular. Maybe Delano was being a jerk and he was like, I don't want to play for 905. Don't send me to 905. And that was part of the problem. I don't know. Koloko could have been way better utilized between the two rosters also. It seemed like he was sitting too much. It was like, you could be playing in 905, but you're just sitting on our bench and you're not getting to play on this team either. So this is what I worry about. This is really what I worry about. Koloko, you need to get healthy and come back and play. Seriously. G saying, I liked your Scotty Baller Barnes. Scotty Baller Barnes. Baller. I don't know. Fiercely saying, I'm pretty sure the upcoming Pistons game will garner lots of views. People want to see which team will break the streak. NBA will be happy. Money. That may be part of it, but in some ways, I don't care about that, all that. I just want us to come through that unscathed. I do not want to be the team that ends the Pistons losing streak. We need to beat them tomorrow. This is very important. Mischief is saying, I heard Tatum has a sore ankle after playing 43 minutes. Brown has a bad back. Lex, didn't we break a record on assists against Detroit last time we played them? This is a great point, Mischief. You're exactly right. We did. And I'm going to give you a dunk for reminding me on that. That's right. We got 44 assists against them, and we did blow them the hell out the last time we played them. That's why we need to do something similar. But like I said, they're a wounded animal right now. And in some ways, you can't really look at that last game and say, well, we did so well against them, we should be good. No, we need to understand this is a little bit of a different Pistons team than the last time we played them because they're really getting into dark territory with a losing streak right now. I'm going to add it to the spreadsheet. I made the spreadsheet yesterday. Y'all, I posted it yesterday, the dunk tally sheet. And it's in the community tab on this channel if you want to see where the dunk totals are right now. But Mischief, I'm going to add you one. You know what? I'll try and do it just real quick right now. But yeah, you know what? Listen, we cannot take either game lightly tonight, both for different reasons and at different ends of the spectrum. Tonight, you definitely got to take this one very seriously tonight because it's the Celtics and they're a top team. And tomorrow, you just don't want to be embarrassed. In a lot of ways, that's the big important thing about tomorrow. All right, where's Mischief on here? I want to give Mischief a dunk. No. That's right. I'll have to do them alphabetically after this. There's Mischief. Mischief's getting his fourth dunk. Bam. All right, put it in. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next. Laughing at Chris. Yeah, it's pretty fun stuff with Chris yesterday and the nickname stuff. He's saying, yes, I would have liked to see JFL a bit and just see what he can do at the NBA level. I, too, don't get why the two-way is so underused. Now add Jonte to that list. Yeah, I want to see these guys show up and play tonight. I want to see them involved in things. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, you should read the Michael Grange article released on December 28th. It covers Pascal and OG. All right, good heads up, Cool Cat. I will seek that out, and on your advice, I will try and read that today. I will. Thank you. Fiercely saying, Lex, I watched Darko's interview yesterday. I sensed they want to develop Scotty into becoming a point guard. Could it be they keep Pascal and OG and send Dennis to lead the second unit? Just a feeling I have. That interview was interesting yesterday. There's a lot of kind of like what we were doing in this stream yesterday with arguing about Scotty being a point guard. There's a lot of confusion in a lot of different places about this. Some people just have different ideas about what this means. And I think that it's just kind of ambiguous and weird. Like right now, the label point guard, I will continue to say, is a disservice for Scotty. It's a disservice. And, it's not necessarily that Darko said specifically he's going to be a point guard. He just said he's going to be involved in passing. He also said he wants him to shoot more, is what he said yesterday in that interview. So it's not totally clear. And people can take little nuggets of what Darko said in his practice interview yesterday and say, yeah, he's saying he's going to be a point guard. And that may be true to an extent, but that's not totally true for 100% of the time. I think it really is that he's going to be different modes at different times. There will be times in the game where he very much does point guard kind of stuff. But once again, Darko's smart, and so is Scott, and so am I. He is best utilized near the basket and shooting. And in some ways, they'd be dumb to not develop him further as a scorer and the main option of the team. It's a really tough thing to balance. They talked about it on Raptors Tonight the other night, and they did not say Shep's name on it. They said Shepard, Javon Shepard. He was on the Raptors tonight, and Eric Smith said Shep said. He did not say Shev said. They did not mention NBA Shev on Raptors tonight. But the thing is, and they're saying this, that Paul Jones and them were saying that it's really tough to balance being the point guard and being the man at the same time. It's so hard. And that's part of the reason why I'm trying to tell y'all we shouldn't put so much weight on Scotty to be the point guard. In some ways, we should want to develop him to be the number one guy and the scorer for our team more than him being a point guard. He's going to be a point guard and be unselfish and do passing kind of stuff regardless of whatever. In some ways, the problem with Scott is not unselfishness. Most players, the problem is unselfishness, is selfishness. He is not selfish. In some ways, we need to train him to be more selfish right now. And that's part of the reason why the mindset of being a point guard is not good for him right now. I want him to be aggressive himself. I want him to take the shots. He's a higher percentage field goal person than most of our team. So he should be high usage. He should be getting the most shots. Yes, he will pass. Yes, he will get assists. Yes, he'll get triple doubles. But he needs to be shooting more than he's passing. It just is a dumb philosophy. It's a waste of our team if we don't do it that way. And that's my whole argument with this. Now, Darko said, yeah, he's going to be passing, but he's also going to be shooting more too, is what he said. And he's going to work on his shooting. And he wants him to shoot a lot this summer. So it's a weird kind of like, it's once again, it's ambiguity about what his role is. And in some ways, it's really hard to be the number one scorer and the point guard at the same time. Let's just put it that way, because that's a balance that you have to strive for. And on every single night, you have to know exactly what the right percentages are of you to do which role. And it's not easy. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm not saying that he can't do this. But in some ways, in his early development, in his early superstardom, we may want him to just focus on one heavily. It's like LeBron. LeBron, in some ways, he had to be very selfish at certain points of his career. And then in other parts of his career, he became more of a team passer and player and a facilitator, making more assists. And that's really what he's got to figure out. And in some ways, I'd much rather him go full gas on being the man and scoring as much as possible early, and then go later when he's older and wiser to be more like a point guard and kind of passing everybody. It's just right now, I want him to be more like Kawhi. And then later down the road, he can be more like the assist-making LeBron James. That's just how I look at it. That's me personally. If I was involved in his development, this is how I would look at it. It's like you need to get good yourself first and score a lot first yourself and get that really down. And then we'll enhance and broaden and give yourself multiple dimensions by giving you that whole playmaker, passer side to you more heavy also. I just want to make the workload and the trajectory and the development stuff for him easier just in case, because he's taking a lot on already and he's doing well. He's handling the weight well. But in some ways, you don't understand how being the starting point guard and being the start and being the number one on the team is so hard. John Morant may make it look easy, but it's not. SGA may make it look easy, but it is not. And in fact, we saw SGA having problems with this at FIBA when we watched them this summer, balancing being the number one scorer and being the point guard. It's not easy. And that's the thing I caution everybody about being so hard on being for, Scotty being the point guard. Do you want him to be Kawhi or do you want him to be Jason Kidd? I'd prefer him to be Kawhi. Seriously, I'd prefer him to be Kawhi. Yeah. And Dennis running the second unit is a great development. I want to see continued success with our bench because Dennis is running the backup team. And I have no problem with that. MSJ saying Jonte versus a big Boston team is a great plug-in versus Hartenstein, Hauser. We need size tonight. Yeah, Hartenstein's on the Knicks. That's not on their team. They have Cornette. Lex, I bet Flynn does get a contract. I hate the idea, but I see it. We are so guard poor, he re-ups. Fuck that. Chris, I'm giving you a strike. You're ridiculous. Whatever you're smoking, stop smoking it. That is, man, don't say shit like that. That's Raymond Jacob telling me that Trump's going to get reelected. Kind of shit. You saying that to me. Seriously, you want to make my Friday worse by telling me you think that Flynn will re-up with us? Man, if you think this is some sort of funny joke, no, you get a strike. You get a strike. That's ridiculous. No, if any good management, if he does not show anything this year, it's 4 years of nothing, no development, no getting anywhere. He needs to go away. He needs to go away. I'll be very questioning the front office if they continue to keep Malachi on a new contract. Let this contract run out and let him fucking go. I don't care if he gets a contract somewhere else. He should probably be playing in Turkey, is what I should say about this. He should probably be playing in Turkey. That's right. Fiercely saying, going from hang on. It jumped down, and I see there's a lot of good comments. I like it. I do want to cut off though, because I don't want to go past noon today for sure. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. Fiercely saying, going from coach of the year to possibly breaking a record in losses must be tough for the ego, although the money may make up for it, like you said. Yeah, you're talking about Monty Williams. Yeah, that's the deal with the devil. Jillian's saying, Lex, Darko said they're slowly bringing Otto back due to injury. Cheers. That's right. Yeah, his foot is, I've said this before, his foot is never going to heal. His foot is going to have the problem that started last year forever. They have to manage it. So in some ways, that's like really like kind of babying him in certain ways. He's not allowed to play back to backs. So this is the thing. Will we see Otto play tonight against the Celtics, or will we see him play against Detroit tomorrow? It could very well be that we see him play against the Celtics because he's veteran, and then we may see these two ways or somebody come in and fill at the time tomorrow against the Pistons. I don't know. I will have to see the logic of what they do. But yes, Otto has his toe is very much still an issue, and it will be for the rest of his life, apparently. This is something that's not ever going to go away. So for the rest of his career, he's going to be battling the issues with his toe, just so you know. Carlo's saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Carlo. MSJ saying, that's a cool stat, Mo. His three-point shooting has shocked the NBA this year. I never thought it could happen. It's been a great uptick and amazing stuff. It's really about him being centered. It's all about him being centered. Before there's a little bit of a lurch, or a little willowy, kind of like any movement, like side to side. No, he's set. And it's with his shoulders right down through his legs, just perfect fundamentals. And the other thing is he's very unconscious with it. That's the thing. If he's unconscious and he believes in it and he feels it, he's going to make them. And that's a big part of it also. He feels good. He feels it. He's a shot maker. If he's feeling it, he's going to make it. And he's usually feeling it. Let's see. Infamous is saying, Lex, I agree with your second half theory regarding Darko. Remember his interview after he got hired? He kept repeating the second half is where he shines as a coach. There you go. I hope this is true. I really do hope this is true. I mean, if he's saving up different people for later in the season, well, let's see it happen and make logic of all this. We want to know what y'all are doing to make logical sense of it. And then I can defend you against your detractors better. On this show, because like there are a lot of detractors for the coach and the front office right now, much to my chagrin. And in some ways, you guys got to give me something to be able to defend y'all, something better. Because right now, in some ways, I'm worried because of what some of the things I was saying between 905 and the Raptors. That's an easy way to show me, oh, these guys are smart. They know what they're doing. That's a real easy way. You could do it just in the day-to-day transactions between 905 and Raptors and managing that. It could really go a long way. I could really, really spin some good propaganda for y'all. If you could give me a little morsel, not a Daryl morsel, but a little morsel of like some good faith action between like, okay, they did this to do this. And then I'm like, that makes sense. That's all I'm asking for, Bobby and Masai and Eric and Darko and Luke. That's all I'm asking for right there. That's all I'm asking for. Cool Cat saying Detroit Pistons have to overpay to get taken. They have the coach. Now the next move is to overpay a top talent to join the team and revive it. You know what? I had faith in the Pistons getting it out of the mud a couple of years ago, but I don't anymore. I really don't. I think that this kind of bottoming out and really losing this bad is going to really hurt this franchise. And in some ways, a lot of the guys that are there now that are young, they're going to want to leave. You think Cade Cunningham's going to want to stick around in Detroit? No, he's not. And, that he's not the only one. Jaden Ivey probably has a bad taste in his mouth. That's part of the problem. Losing begets more failure. And in some ways, the losing that's going on right now with them is extremely damaging to their team for years to come. And that it's not like they're on the way up again. In some ways, Casey was doing a masterful job with them. You see what Monty's doing with them now. It's not like this team is worse than last year's team. In some ways, Casey did better last year without Cade Cunningham than Monty's doing this year with Cade Cunningham. So it's a weird thing. In some ways, what you're describing, I could see it being really bad because they're not going to be able to keep everybody on the same timeline. Different people will leave. They'll have good people, and then it'll be really hard for them to build in some ways. They're in a bad place. They're in a really bad place. And this losing streak is just incredibly bad, incredibly bad. Kevin's saying Scotty has become such a reliable three-point shooter. Did not expect this at all. Yeah, I'm very happy about this development. It's not something that I said was totally necessary for him, but it definitely helps. It helps so much. And holy crap, this is going to be the thing that separates him from Giannis. That if he's a really good three-point shooter, he can do everything Giannis does, except he shoots better from the outside. That's what I'm saying, Kevin. That in some ways we got Giannis, except a Giannis that can shoot. Forget about the Encanto sweepstakes a couple years ago. We got to him no matter what. And not even it's not him, it's better than him, Scotty Barnes. So yeah, we didn't win this Giannis sweepstakes, but we got the Scotty sweepstakes, and they may be even better than Giannis. I'm telling you, dude, right now, there's a lot of stat comparisons between Giannis's early career and Scotty's, and Scotty blows him out of the water. Giannis was not good in his rookie year. It took a while to develop and become who he is. Scotty's ahead of him in his career right now than where Giannis was in his third year right now. So I'm just saying, y'all realize this and watch in the years to come. Scotty being a better shooter, he may end up eclipsing Giannis Antetokounmpo in some ways. Now, some people that are of other teams and general NBA fans may laugh at me for saying that. Well, we'll see who's right in a couple years. We'll see who's right. Jillian's saying, watch the game last night. The Pistons played so well. You're right. The referee sucked. Porzingis uses bum to move other players. Other players use their bodies. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ed Malloy is an agent for the NBA to make sure a certain team wins. And he was there for a certain purpose. He was in one of our in-season tournament games this season on purpose to make sure we lost to the Brooklyn Nets. So yeah, when he shows up, he has a very much a directive for who's supposed to win. And he may even have it at fine-tuned down to the spread and helping bookies and people make bets and big, ugly mobsters make a bunch of money. So, yeah, that's where I put you in, Ed Malloy. Tim Donaghy, Scott Foster, referee mafia, who's like making money on the side with bets. That's who you are, Ed Malloy. I know you are with your Opie Taylor-looking face and you running with your robot arms. Tom saying, hey, guys. Hey, it's Tom. Tom, family friend of the Porter family. We're wondering where Jonte is, Tom. We're speculating where Jonte Porter is this morning. If he's in Boston, if he's with the 905, I have a feeling that he's with the 905. I don't know. We got to figure this out. He's saying Jonte was sick last night. Whoa. Okay. He was actually sick the night before, but he played. Jonte was in Toronto last night. Okay. This is good information. It's not the what I wanted to hear, though. So he is not in Boston. That's too bad. Tom giving us the scoop, being a family friend. He knows where Jonte is. I love this. This is great. Great intel. So he was sick. That may really kind of tell us why he didn't score as much in the first game. He did a lot of great work, though, and stat stuff, but he didn't score as well in the first game. And then he was sick and he came home. That sucks. Okay, so this is it. He's sick right now, and that he's not going to be playing against Boston tonight. He's back in Toronto. Thanks for the intel. That's very, very informative, Tom. TGIF to you, sir. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Scotty is the team's best three-point shooter. I would trade Gary, Malachi, seeing that Scotty showed how they are not working hard enough as shooters over the years. Yeah. And yeah, if Scotty can do this, it really makes Malachi look like a failure. Gary, what the hell, man? You're supposed to be a dead eye. I'm okay with this. Everything Cool Cat said here, right here. Trade these guys. I don't care. Get them out of here. I want all imposter three-point shooters off this team. Imposter three-point shooters. I want real ones. I want Buddy Hield. I want Doug McDermott. I want real dead eyes, guys that actually can shoot threes, and they make them if they're wide open. That's what I want. That's all I'm asking for. You're not a three-point shooter if you don't make your threes when you're open. I'm sorry. That's just the damn truth. Gary, Malachi, y'all aren't three-point shooters. Y'all don't make your open threes. If you made them dead eye like their free throws, I would call y'all three-point shooters. But you're not. You've consistently missed open threes all this season. Yeah. And it's garbage, and we're sick of it. G saying last season I said just surround Scotty by shooters was not ideal, and that he needs to become part of the spacing solution or he will get the Ben Simmons treatment. I was hoping for 33%, and Scotty is exceeding expectations. Yeah. Yeah. Him and Siakam, this is very important aspect of their careers, getting better at the three-point line. Now, in some ways, Scotty is beating Siakam with being more prolific at the three-point line. Siakam's had good stretches, but he's also had really bad stretches in this same year. He started really hot from three. He had a dead period in a month or so ago, and now he's kind of showing the signs that he may be kind of in the middle right now. But yeah, Scotty's a better three-point shooter than Siakam right now. But Siakam is improving also, and he should hopefully get better and better too. Let's see. Randolph is saying, Lex, Jonte played sick. Flu like previous game is still sick. That sucks. That sucks. Oh, well, there goes my theory out the window that these guys went to Boston, and that's why they weren't in Washington, D.C. They're in Toronto. And I'm wondering if JFL is also. It could very well be they came back early because they knew they weren't going to be in that game, and they just came back to Toronto because you know what? They're playing again tomorrow. So in some ways, they needed the creature comforts at home, trying to get feeling better, and then come in and play in Mississauga tomorrow. I don't remember who they're playing tomorrow. Lots of games jammed up in a lot of days here. 3 out of 4 days for the 905 and 3 out of 4 days for the Raptors, too. You know, we played Washington on Wednesday. We're playing tonight. We're playing tomorrow. We get New Year's Eve off, and then we're playing again on Monday. So that's like 5 games real fast, right out of the bat after Christmas. They jam us up with a lot of games sometimes, and that's happening right now. Let's see. G saying, oh, no, Tom, hope he feels better. Yeah, I do too. I really do. Tom saying, I would say that Jonte played well 2 games ago. He was sick. His shot was off, but he still impacted the game. Yeah, 4 blocks and like 12 rebounds is fantastic. He contributed still, even though his shot was off. I think he was 2 for 7 in the game. He only got like 4 points, but it is what it is. He's human. And if he was sick, well, that explains a lot on that. That explains a lot. Monique's saying, get your all-star votes in a few more weeks ago. That's right. This is a great daily reminder by Monique. Make sure you guys do your NBA votes for all-star. And try and vote for Raptors. If you don't vote for Raptors, vote for former Raptors. If you don't vote for former Raptors, vote for Team Canada. I say there's a lot of good players in this league, but I'm voting for either Raptors or Canadians. And that's why I'll be SGA, Fred VanVleet, Kawhi Leonard, Dylan Brooks, Jonas Valanciunas on the west side, and then boom, all Raptors on the east, maybe a little bit of DeMar and Kyle sprinkled in here and there. But yeah, make sure you get your all-star votes in every single day. They're important. And I think there's a triple day coming up around New Year's. So make sure you definitely vote on that day. Let's keep going. Carlos saying so many riveting storylines this season, even for us. Our storylines are dramatic, and I don't like them. I want to get it out of the mud. I want us to get more success. I want our team to play more consistently better. And hopefully that'll happen. Yeah, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 blocks, and 2 steals. He had 5 blocks? I thought he had 4. But yeah, it's not a bad stat line. And I knew something was a little up with him, but I didn't realize he was sick. That's interesting. Tristan saying, so true, Carlo. And yeah, Jonte has been a great addition to 905. Very happy to have him. Yeah, it's too bad he's not healthy and he's not in Boston. I was really hoping he's going to play against the Celtics tonight. That would have been a really good boon for us. I was like saying, just plug him into Jalen McDaniels minutes from last game and see what he does, Darko. Mischief saying, who do you think the Raptors starters are for tonight? He's got the old starting lineup up there. Oh, wait, he's got the new one. He's got the new one. It's Jakob, Pascal, OG, Scotty, and Gary. Yeah, Dennis makes Toronto's bench better. Dennis helps balance out the talent throughout the team. I agree with this, Mischief. I do. I thought that, it is what it is. It's been really good to get Malachi out of the rotation. And it's much more steady to have Dennis with the bench guys, that veteran leadership. And Gary helps the spacing in the starting lineup. And Scotty and Pascal have more of the ball handling role. And that's great. That's great. All that works real well. Let's see how it works tonight with the Celtics. Space Cadet saying, "You better believe haters who call themselves fans, like he who shall not be named, are just itching for us to lose tomorrow." They've already been licking their chops on this. Some of them are already saying this: "I hope the Raptors lose to the Pistons and continue the streak or end the streak so that they fire the front office." This is what people are saying right now. People that hate us, people that act like they like us, wolves in sheep clothing, fake ass fans in our fan nation, people that are really like they are so hateful towards Masai and Bobby, and they think they're Raptors fans, that they want us to break this record. They want us to be like Jalen Rose with 81 points by Kobe Bryant. They want us to be in the history book. They want to sacrifice so bad. Those aren't fans. Those aren't real fans. Those are haters, just like what Space Cadet called them. They are fake ass fans. They are fucked up fans. They are fans that are not friends of mine. And if you are one of those fans, you're watching me right now, fuck you. You that think you want us to lose tomorrow just so our front office looks worse so that they possibly get in trouble, you are not a fan. You are fucked up. You should never ever want the Raptors to lose in any situation. You think this is going to help things? No, it's not. So just shut up. And everybody who's hoping for this, that is supposedly a Raptors fan, you can just, I would tell you what you could do. I'll tell you what you could do, but it's not safe for this channel, is what I'll tell you. Yeah. Carlos saying, Lex, I think it's because Darko is a first year coach and he's simplifying things for now and playing his main roster and figuring things out. I think after that is done, he'll bring in the two ways. I hope so. I mean, I get that. That makes sense. But in some ways, he needs to take different looks and figure things out. I don't know. In some ways, we're still learning him and his tendencies. You know, after 5 years of Nick, I knew Nick pretty well. And I don't totally know Darko. In some ways, he's very unknown still. In some ways, I don't have enough information. And I need to continue to watch him and gather more. It's a fact-finding mission to figure out who this coach is and what his tendencies are and what he's all about and what I can expect from him. I don't totally know what to expect with him. It's very static so far. He hasn't changed a whole lot until the last game. So now let's see if there's more adjustments coming. I want to see how he reacts to stuff. I want to see how he handles situations. You know, this is how we learn who our coach is. Let's see. G saying, Tom, his defense was missed last night as well. It was glaring. Yes. Yes. If there's any case of like really understanding Jonte Porter, what he brings, well, see how bad the 905 defense was last night without him around. It was really bad. Him and Justice were very much missed. Very, very much missed. Blackhawk saying, I'd rather beat the Celtics. They're the bigger trophy. Pistons will be standing in our way for a pizza party. You know, I'd love to get both, Neil. I mean, seriously, of course I want to get both. But in some ways, we can lose to the Celtics tonight and we won't look bad. We lose to the Pistons tomorrow, this is going to look really bad. And this is not what we want. In some ways, if the NBA really wants to set up burying us even further, yeah, this is a humiliating way to do it. So we need to win tomorrow. It's already set up. We have to play them. And they are trying to they're trying to not break a record. And we're trying to not lose to the worst team in this league. So there's a lot at stake. In some ways, these Raptors really need to be serious the next 2 days in all kinds of ways. They need to be serious tonight. And they need to be serious tomorrow also. Yeah, the pizza party, I don't care about that. And it better be better than a pizza party. They better be getting steaks because honestly, this whole stupid dinner with Darko thing is so dumb. It better be better than a pizza party. Yeah, it better be steaks. Infamous is saying the ref manipulation will be at an all-time high tomorrow. We need to take it out of the hands of the refs by playing with effort and making our shots. Well, I have to see the crew. Infamous, I won't say that for sure. I will not say that for sure. In some ways, they may just throw really junior refs, nobody that's that bad or anything like that. If I don't see any of the big names, if I don't see anybody, I have to see who the names are first. That will tell me what they're doing. If I see the people on the ref report tomorrow that makes sense that this is the kind of thing that may be manipulation, I'll tell y'all. But let's not jump to conclusions and let's not predict this right now because we don't want this. If we really want, listen, we don't want that. Just trust me. We don't want that. So Tom's saying, I knew he was sick. That's why I wasn't watching the 905. I was watching the Nuggets. Yeah, it's all good, Tom. And seriously, thank you for the intel. This is really, really good. This is part of what separates this channel from other places is we got good people from all kinds of places. We got Nuggets fan Tom, who's also Raptors 905 and Raptors fan now because Jonte's here, and he's dropping the knowledge on what is happening with Jonte. We really appreciate it. Jillian saying, fiercely, what's your theory in reference to the Celtics? You think they were tanking it easy last night in anticipation of the Raptors tonight? No, I think that they were getting their butt kicked in the beginning because the Celtics and Kate Cunningham were sick of losing, and they kicked some butt from a lot of the game, but they couldn't keep it up. And in some ways, Ed Malloy is going to help land that plane by the end of the game to make sure the Celtics win by the end. Maybe they did want some high drama. Since it was NBA TV last night, the game was nationally televised, the Celtics and the Pistons. That's not necessarily good TV, other than the fact that the Pistons are going through what they're going through right now. It's like the top team in the East against the worst team in the East. That's not necessarily a marquee matchup. And it's kind of weird that they put that game on TV, honestly. But it was high drama, and people wanted to watch it. So we'll have to see. Kevin's saying OG for Quickly. Young, good scorer, would fit in on our starting lineup. Knicks need a forward, and we need a guard. Well, we need more than Quickly. Quickly's not enough. They're going to need to send somebody else, too, because Quickly's a backup point guard, and OG's a starting two-way. And that doesn't line up with value. So we're going to need somebody else, too. Hey, send RJ back. RJ and Quickly. How about that? Barrett and Quickly for OG, straight up, right there. I maybe do that. I don't know. I'd love to bring RJ home. Bring old RJ home. Maybe he's not the right person because he doesn't shoot exactly right, but who knows? In some ways, Quickly is not a bad player to get. I agree. Jillian's saying, Scotty has so much pressure on him. I really want him to stay healthy. Yeah, in some ways, we want to, not stack so much on his broad shoulders. And that's why the point guard thing is a lot. And I'd rather him be the number one instead. Chris is saying, I think Cade has been playing very hard, but won't be able to bring it over and over. The Pistons played hard, out-rebounded the Celtics by 13, but man, the Pistons just suck. They're a terrible team. It is what it is, and hopefully they suck even more tomorrow, and we just beat their ass. We don't need to be messing with that. Carlos saying, I would do that, Kevin, but at this point, we aren't making deals with the Knicks anytime soon. I think Quickly would look good with Scotty. Yeah, Carlos bringing up a good point. We're not doing deals with a team that's a lawsuit with us. I think that the Knicks are the least likely trade partner for us, considering that they have a pending lawsuit against us right now. So yeah, fuck Dolan and the Knicks. Nah, we're not probably doing deals with them for a while. Definitely while this thing's going on. G saying, Jillian, I believe Tatum isn't as great and clutch as the league is trying to make him. He needs Brown to take some of the defense off him. He has the most turnovers in playoff history. Yeah, he's a sham. He's propped up, and they make him seem like he's more important and bigger than he is. They really make him a product. He's a marketing product for the NBA. And in some ways, he's a sham. He's not exactly what people think he is, that they build him up to. In some ways, he is not a better player than Siakam. He really, really isn't. And that's the sad thing. Is Siakam, in some ways, deserves more hype and golden boy treatment like Jason Tatum, but he doesn't get it. Jason Tatum is not an NBA champion, and Pascal Siakam is. And that's all I got to say around that right there. Yeah. Jillian saying that, gee, interesting. Fiercely saying that, Jillian, exactly. They assumed they would beat the Pistons and were lackadaisical. I guess they were reminded of the score at halftime and potential embarrassment, so they stepped up. That is part of it. That could very well be some of what figured in last night. Fiercely saying even the Boston announcers were struggling to understand what was going on. It was comical. Good. Scalabrini, idiot. He had a hard time with his words because he didn't understand that the Pistons were beating them by 20 before halftime. You dumbasses. Yeah, I'm laughing too, Tristan. Jillian saying, Lex, Matt and Jack are a part of the designated campaign. They didn't just merely decide to help Scotty become Rookie of the Year. Everything is planned. No, they did that on purpose. They did. There was a concerted effort to help guys get awards. And I love it. It's really effective. They started talking about All-NBA for Siakam. They started talking about All-Star for Fred VanVleet. They started talking about Rookie of the Year for Scotty. That was all right around the same time. They were very much promoting our guys on the broadcast for awards. And they're doing it now for the All-Star team. They're going to say Scotty All-Star, Pascal All-Star. They're going to say it over and over again. And it's right for them to do it. But at that time, Matt Devlin made the nickname Scotty Roy to really, really hammer home Scotty being the Rookie of the Year. He called him Scotty Roy a lot of times near the end of the season, and that was on Devlin. Devlin's the one who says what he says. It's not like somebody came up to him and said, "So you're going to call him Scotty Roy and he's going to win Rookie of the Year." No, he decided to start calling him Scotty Roy, and he helped him get Rookie of the Year by putting it in people's heads. In some ways, Matt Devlin has a lot of power to help our guys win awards because people watch the highlights and they hear his call. People on the NBA highlights, they'll see Matt Devlin's call and they'll see Scotty do an amazing thing. And they'll say, Scotty Roy, Scotty Roy, Scotty Roy. And they'll be like, oh. And Scotty knew that that nickname was around him at that time. And when we saw him on Twitch later that summer, he told us, don't call me Scotty Roy anymore because I'm not a rookie anymore. I was a rookie last year. Scotty Roy was great during the year last year, but I'm not a rookie anymore. He didn't even enjoy his Rookie of the Year award for the whole year. He said, that's the past. I'm moving on. I got that accolade already. I'm a 2-year player now, and I'm not a rookie anymore. So don't call me Scotty Roy. So he made that very clear in the summer after he won the Rookie of the Year that he did not want to be called Scotty Roy any further, that was just for his first year. So, but that was Devlin. Devlin came up with that. He came up with that. He comes up with the spin wash. He comes up with the Austrian hammer. He comes up with a lot of these nicknames. Now, there was a nickname that was made up by Drake. Drake comes up with some nicknames too. He nicknamed Jonas Valanciunas Big Science at one point, and that stuck. Some people started calling Jonas Big Science because Drake called him Big Science. So it really is like people with influence that just drop cool names. They can make nicknames for players. Austrian Hammer, Spicy P. That's another one that was made up by the announce crew. Spicy P is made up by them. It's not a name that Siakam likes or uses himself. He's P Skills. If you go to his Instagram, he's not Spicy P. He hates spicy food. That's a name that was just created for him and was put around him. And now it's a whole motif with the chili pepper and stuff. But in some ways, Siakam doesn't like spicy food. He doesn't want spicy food. And in some ways, he rejects that nickname. He does not use it, but he's okay with it. He's fine with it. But P Skills is actually what his real nickname is that he uses himself. So it's an interesting thing, the nicknames. It's an interesting thing. Let's see. Fiercely saying, Chris, I agree. It only seems Cade and Bojan make the team. They could have won maybe if Isaiah Stewart played. I don't know why he was out. Yeah, that hurt. Beef Stew not playing, that's a huge key player for them. I don't know. I'm not going to try and figure out the Pistons' problems. I want to figure out more problems for them so we make sure we beat them tomorrow. And the haters can just be haters and just fuck off. I'm so mad that there's people in our Raptors nation that actually want us to lose tomorrow. That you assholes, you idiots. Julian saying, Chris said he smoked something. I don't get the humor. Sorry. He smoked some weed. He smoked some crazy ganja. And he got out of his mind. And he was crazy in our Facebook chat yesterday, saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And that he was apologizing for that. And he was funny. In some ways, he didn't bother me. But he's really trying to brainstorm Scotty Barnes' new nickname while he was on the ganja. That's what he did. He smoked some ganja. Stargate saying nicknames should be organic. Shaq was good at making up nicknames. He made up Paul Pierce's, Iverson's, and Vince's nicknames. Did he make up the Vince Carter Air Canada or Vinsanity? I don't know. It'd be interesting to try and figure out who made up certain nicknames at certain times and why and how they got it. You know, Muggsy was called Muggsy because he was very little. They called him Muggsy because he kind of looked like a little gangster, Tyrone Bogues. You know, it's interesting, the origin stories of why people are called what. Doc Rivers is called Doc because he showed up as a young player, very young at Marquette or at college or sometime he played. He came in with all Dr. J clothing on at a practice. And so the other guys started making fun of him, calling, oh, it's Doc, because he's wearing Dr. J apparel as a young player before he, like very young. And it just stuck. And that's why Doc Rivers is Doc, is because he was wearing Dr. J clothes a long, long time ago. And the people were making fun of him. And it just stuck. It just stuck around after that. It's an interesting thing how people get nicknames around the NBA. Popeye Jones. Popeye is not his real name. He was called Popeye partly because of the cartoon I think was on when he was a little kid and he liked it or something. I don't know. It's like the origin stories of nicknames are funny in the NBA, and they're fun to research too sometimes. Carlos saying, how about Big Baby Scotty? No, he's the one who's getting beating up the big babies. Like he says, I'm gonna beat up the big babies. So he calls the opponent the babies, and he's the big boy that beats the babies. That's what he says on 2K. The one I like was hang on, was oh crap. There's a newer one, big baby Scotty. No, what was it? I forget. I just slipped my mind. Scotty Barnacles. He uses Scottier Diamonds on NBA 2K. That's the name he uses as his character on 2K. Scottier Diamonds. I don't know. I mean, Carlo JS is saying occasional mushroom trip is recommended, though. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't know if it was mushrooms. I think he was just smoking. Let's see. Chris is saying that Carlo, if that was it, I would have been on Flynn's nicknames, gone mental, and found myself yelling at people outside 99 Queen Street. Oh man. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying, oh my, Spicy P, Yak Attack, Loco Coloco. Who else on the team has a nickname? I like DeAndre Ayton calling him himself dominating. He doesn't dominate though. Yeah, the nicknames are the nicknames. I mean, we're gonna figure them out. They come by naturally. They just come by naturally. Julian saying some of us are dreads. Scotty ain't got none. Laugh out loud. In some ways, he has dreaded out his hair in his years. It was early on in his career he would dread out. Like I say with his poofy hair, like when it's all up like crazy, sometimes that's pretty cool. But yeah, he'll twist it. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a cool play on words, Dread Baron. I don't know. It doesn't fit. And I asked him if he liked that nickname. He didn't respond. So it didn't take. So I've actually asked Scotty my nicknames, Mr. 94 Feet. I tried that on him. I tried Scotty Basketball, and he just didn't get thrilled about any of them. Let's just put it that way. Carlos saying, I'm praying to all the gods that we don't see Flynn tonight. Yeah. I'm just praying that we win tomorrow first, and then tonight second. Yeah, we got to win tomorrow, though. Tomorrow's more important in some ways. Carlos saying that Grange article is in the same old bullshit that they don't know what the front office clearest path is. He's citing sources from different front offices. Yeah, is that what the Grange article is? Well, in some ways, I don't maybe not need to read it. In some ways, once again, Michael Grange is employed by Ed Rogers III. He signs his checks. In some ways, what he's going to say about the front office, it should be taken with a grain of salt because honestly, can we trust him? Can we understand that he may do a hit piece or he may write things to confuse things even more just because of who his boss is? So I don't, in some ways, I want to know what this article says. I'll go look at it, but it may very well be that I'm going to look at it and say, yeah, this is the same old bullshit. Just like Carlos said. Tom saying, Michael Porter Jr. interviewed Jokic for his blog. Curious Mike, great interview. All right. Nuggets news. If you guys are interested in that interview, go check it out. Fun guy saying, I'm sorry, Lex, but it's kind of obvious now what's going to happen tomorrow. Laugh out loud. The league and luck set us up again. Just the right game for Detroit with how bad we are on a back-to-back. Let's just hope it doesn't happen. Well, I'm going to say this. We're actually good on the second night of the back-to-back. It's often we lose the first night of the back-to-back and we make the second night of the back-to-back a win. I get it. You listen, don't start premeditating this shit. I'm premeditating we're going to beat Detroit and extend their losing streak. That's how I'm premeditating. If a whole bunch of y'all are premeditating the other way, just stop. Don't even think about it. We'll just let the game happen. But the fact that a lot of Raptors fans are already like, oh, no, this is going to happen. And John Hollinger's trying to talk about it earlier in the week. Fuck you, John Hollinger. You stupid shit. Saying that, oh, you Raptors fans are all worried and in a tizzy. You know what? Listen, I'm confident in my team that they're not going to allow this to happen. And, you guys can say, okay, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Listen, it doesn't. It's still the truth that we just beat Detroit earlier this season by one of the biggest margins that we've beaten a team this year. So listen, we can have a chance to kick their ass and no problems. In fact, we may play them better than the Celtics did last night. So let's start forecasting and thinking about that instead. Once again, you look at the ditch on an icy road, you go to the ditch. And I'm looking straight down the middle of the road. So y'all want to start looking at the ditch tomorrow night? Some of y'all, fun guy, you go ahead, but not me. I'm predicting success. And I'm going to predict going straight on down the road, and Detroit can just go ahead and have that record. That's what I'm saying right now. Yeah. Let's see. Igor's saying, Comrade Scotty is the Barnosaur. Yes, Igor. Igor comes in and he just saves the day. Igor, you're getting a dunk. That's awesome. The Barnosaur. I don't mind that nickname. I don't know. That's interesting. In some ways, we came around to the point where uh, 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 Chris was saying that he was like the freak, Scotty Freak. I'm saying, well, why don't we just nickname him Raptors Freak? We'll call him the Raptors Freak. And he can just have the nickname of our whole channel and our family. Just what if Scotty's nickname became Raptors Freak? That would be pretty weird and interesting, seeing as it originally started here with us, and then it could become his nickname on the whole. I don't know. It's like Greek Freak, Raptors Freak. I don't know. Maybe. Carlos saying, fun guy, what is that defeatist mentality? Laugh out loud. I would be amazed on how the league set that up. Historic losing streak. That would have take a lot of coordination. That's why I don't think that it was all like planned all the way up to the Raptors. I think that the Pistons have just really been bad and futility, and they're seeing a situation develop that in some ways maybe they do want that to happen. Maybe they do, but who cares? In some ways, they shouldn't mess with this. They should just let this naturally happen with things. If there's any kind of ref manipulation to help the Pistons end their streak tomorrow, we will see it and we'll call it out. And we will know for sure that the NBA hates us and absolutely wants to bury our franchise. That if anything, if that goes that way and we see it that way, well, I'm going to know this league is rigged and they absolutely hate us if they're trying to force us to make sure we lose to the Pistons to help them end this streak. Seriously, I'm going to say that tomorrow. If I see that ref manipulation, but still, we got Boston first. This is the craziest thing. We're playing the top team in the East, and then we're playing the worst team in the East. And we have both these games are really important. In some ways, that Pistons game is distracting us from the Celtics game and vice versa. So in some ways, we need to just take care of the food that's on our plate right now before we go get seconds tomorrow. So let's go ahead and eat the rest of our mashed potatoes in Boston tonight and beat their ass first. Is one thing before the other. And we don't want to get ahead of ourselves and start worrying about Pistons and this and that until we play the Boston Celtics tonight. Let's get that done first, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Let's see. Fun guy saying, when are we going to learn that in the last few years, the fan base has got nothing but heartbreaking moments and we're being set up for another one tomorrow? Laugh out loud. Man, you sound like the most miserable fuck right now, man. Seriously. Fun guy, you sound like such a sad, defeatist person. Carlo's exactly right. He's saying, I am already picture those bum Pistons players throwing a parade and celebrating all over us while the fans watch in despair. You know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now, fun guy. And this may help you live the rest of your life in happiness if you actually listen to me. You want to paint horrifying nightmare scenarios and pictures for your life, that's what you're going to fucking get. That's what I'm saying right now. You want to open your mind to this kind of sadness and defeatism and this kind of mentality, well, that's what you're going to get for the rest of your life. You really do make your life what it is. It's your perception. And if you want to have a bad perception about things, well, you're going to be a miserable fuck for the rest of your days. It's up to you. You make that choice. It's up to you. It's all up here in your brain. And it's your life and your lens and your perception. And if you want to go ahead and have a negative perception, well, you'll be a sadder person for the rest of your life. So I'm giving you the chance right here and right now to make that choice for yourself. Either you believe and you try and stay positive and you think forward with good things happening in your life, or you see and you forecast doom and you get bullshit in your life. It's your life. You go ahead and make that choice. It's not up to me. But you can be more happier in your life if you listen to me right now. You would. That's right. Let's go. Let's see. Carlos saying the last few years, and really don't paint this picture where you get let down all the time. We really don't. We really, really don't. It's this spoiled ass fans that act like we get let down all the time. It's stupid. That's stupid mentality, man. All right, let's see. The last few years we've had been adapting to more stoic view on the world. Worry about things you can control. Yeah. I like what Carlos saying here. It really is smart to know the serenity prayer and understand I can control and what I cannot control and change the things that I can control if I don't like them. If you can't, then you got to accept them and learn how to live with them. And that's really the power of being happy and having more control over your life and your happiness. It's so important. Cool Cat saying, my opinion on Coach Darko's interview is about development of Scotty. He gets to read the floor more, learn to manipulate defense, try out shoot first approach with ball in his hand, develop dribble. Yeah, that's how I read it too. I mean, it's a mix of everything. He's obviously going to be passing. He's obviously going to be shooting. It's a mix of everything. I'd like him to be encouraged to shoot first and think pass later. I really do think that that's the right order. Fiercely saying, I also prefer Scotty being power forward or point forward. I just raised an eyebrow when Darko was speaking. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, once again, it's labels, it's semantics, it's kind of just like ambiguous terms. And some of those terms may mean different things in different people's brains. In some ways, when I was listening to him, because I watched that interview too, it sounded like he's saying he's going to get Scott to shoot more. I know some people may listen to what he said and it sounds like, oh, he's going to make him more of a point guard. But no, the overwhelming message I got from that 3-minute interview with him is that he's going to have Scotty shooting more, is what I kind of heard. Maybe I'm just attuned to different things. Cool Cat saying, fun fact, SGA is not a three-point shooter. Rim runs and mid-range are his weapons. There you go. There you go. But it's tough to be the number one and be the point guard. 10:30 cutoff, okay, and we're at 11:09. Mugarbe's here. Good to see Mugarbe Lennon. Good morning, Raptors freaks. So Lex's, what am I hearing about you is that Scotty should be selfish? If that is the case, I hope they trade Pascal because Pascal could have been selfish. No, what I'm saying, Mugarbe, is Scotty's default is to really cater to everyone around him. I've seen it in the NBA 2K even. When he plays the video games, he's always trying to pass it to everybody else, and he never takes shots himself. So what I'm saying is because he's so unselfish naturally as a player, in some ways the Raptors will get the best out of him if he's more selfish and takes more shots against his naturally unselfish mentality. It's really weird because most players come in the league very selfish and they have to be trained the other way. But he kind of has to be trained the other way to be more selfish. I hope that clears up what I'm trying to say. I don't want him to be completely selfish. I'm just saying that he's such an unselfish player. In some ways, his tendency should be to be a little bit more selfish, is all I'm saying. And not to the detriment of the rest of the team, or not selfish in the way that Masai said we're not having selfishness on the team. No, Scotty being selfish and taking shots, high percentage shots near the basket is not selfish to the team. It's adding towards winning. And in that way, it's unselfish, him being selfish. So let's see. Cool Cat saying Denver is another team that is not built around three-point shooting. Celtics are, and when it's not going down, it's ugly. Warriors use mid-range and rim run when not hitting threes. Yeah. We're just going to have to figure out our correct recipe. These other teams have had a different mixed results to get success. And, well, we're going to just have to figure out our percentages of where. In some ways, we need way better three-point shooting just to help balance things so they don't pack the paint so much on us. Then we can operate down low better. We just need to make our open shots. Once again, that's the biggest Achilles heel of the Raptors is that we don't make our open shots and we don't make people pay so they don't have to spread the floor out. And then we can't make anything inside because all the big guys are lurking. So it's a complicated thing. In some ways, once we hit our open shots, things will open up better for us. And Gary, I'm speaking specifically to you. You need to space this floor out by hitting your shots primarily, most of them. Trevor's saying, Lex, I let the whole crew listen to you today, and everyone said, what's up? What's up, crew? What's up, Trevor J. crew? In Boston today, going to go down to the TD Center, that Toronto Dominion Center, and play on our court in Boston, the Toronto Dominion court, and get loud for those Raptors and help them beat the Boston Celtics tonight. Let's beat them in a stunning defeat. I'd love to see a victory and a big W for the Raptors. And I know Trevor J's crew is going to come down there and get loud and rowdy in the right kind of way to help them. So you go, Trevor J, and everybody that's with you today. TGIF, I love y'all. And thank you for going into enemy lines and being a Raptors fan for us tonight. Yeah, Cool Cat saying Detroit Pistons is a lesson for the tear it down crowd. You mix rookie with good winning type players. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can tank and do all the things the Pistons have done in different years, and you will see that you get somewhere, but then you don't. It looked like they were getting somewhere like 2 years ago. In fact, I thought they would be Orlando right now. I really did. I thought that the talent mix and the way that their arc was going, I think Cade being out last year really hurt things a lot. Really, really hurt things a lot. And they're not where they're supposed to be right now. I had predicted they would be on a similar rising arc, just like the Orlando Magic are right now. And they're not. They're getting left behind, and they're at the bottom. Blackhawks saying no sympathy for Cade. He's getting a great amount of reps. Exactly. I don't have any sympathy for anybody. Chris was trying to say I feel sorry for the Pistons. I'm like, no, this is a cutthroat league. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us if we were in their position. So why are you feeling sorry for them? Wayne Strainer would say you're having a weakness, MSJ, and stop feeling so weak. You make us weak by feeling sympathy for the enemy. And that's what I would say with Sergeant Strainer on that. Yes, I would. Fiercely saying, good morning, Trevor J. No words of wisdom today, but you've got the fam online. Awesome. And welcome to the stream. Well, he had words of wisdom right off the bat. They were very simple at the very beginning. And we kind of touched on things like it had to do with perception and whether your life is good or not. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Scotty started playing basketball and more winning experience way longer than Giannis. So, of course, he will be ahead. Giannis learned to play ball in the NBA. Context matters. Yeah. You don't have to stand up for Giannis. I'm just stating a fact that Giannis took longer to develop early in his career, and Scotty is further ahead of him in his third year right now. That's all I'm saying. We could say, oh, because Giannis didn't get this or get that. Scotty was a blue chip. He's on Olympic teams, AAU, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I'm just stating a fact that in his third year right now, Scotty is doing better than Giannis in a lot of ways. And if we're going to portend into the future and look forward to it, what's happening, he could be going somewhere, and especially since he shoots better than him. Yeah, Fiercely saying, not the robot arms. Yeah. And then I did the freeze. Yeah, Ed Malloy runs funny. Next time you see him ref, watch how he runs. Let's see. A fun guy saying, to be fair, Giannis didn't explode until he put all the muscle and mass, and Scotty already had those to start his career. So to some point, they don't have the same trajectory in comparison. We can only look at benchmarks and years and where they are and stuff like that. I don't know. You guys don't want me to compare Scotty to Giannis? Well, I'm going to, and it's in favor of us. What are y'all so upset about? I feel like Scotty's doing better than Giannis in his early career. So what if he started later? So what if this and that? Oh, y'all can stand up for him and give this and stuff. I don't care. Scotty's better than Giannis in his third year. That's what I'll say. Jillian say, Lex, did you see the Pistons last night? They were amazing. No, I didn't watch that game. I did not watch that game. I heard about it. I watched the 905. But I did not watch that game. Y'all were watching it, and I'm glad y'all did. But no, I didn't watch that game. I didn't watch it. Blackhawks saying Grady and Thad to Memphis for Luke Kennard. That will get us some shooting. That's an interesting idea. I mean, you're kind of like trading Grady for a guy who's like a little bit down the road and similar to Grady and could be very useful right away. I don't know. Are we really giving up on Grady that quick, Blackhawk? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Cool Cat saying, I want Pascal to focus on his weapons, rim run, mid-range, and free throws. Later in his career, he then can be a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter as a vet. This is how you prolong your career after your speed slows. Yeah, I'm okay with all that, but I think he can improve his three-point shooting as he goes. It's not like he just dumps into it all of a sudden later. He should continually be improving year to year on his three-point shooting, trying to just get better and better each year. Yeah, I don't mind any of that. That sounds good. And I do want a long career for Siakam, a long, successful career. And I want him to get more championships. Mugarby is saying, good morning, Agillian. Blackhawks saying, we are going on a win streak pizza party. They better be steaks. Mugarby is saying, Pascal should only take 2 threes a game and just kill them in the mid and rim. I love this comment by Mugarby. I agree with this. It could be that like he tests the water with his threes. If he's on, go ahead and go further. If he's not, then yeah, start spinning and going towards the basket, get in that lane and slash. Yeah, I get behind this completely. What Mr. Lennon's saying here. Cool Cat saying the grass is not greener on the other side. Leave Masai and Bobby alone. If they're forced out, Raptors will become Detroit Pistons. Yes, I believe what she's saying here. The Raptors fans don't know what's good for them. You're idiots if you think Masai and Bobby should be fired and get out of here. You didn't learn anything from Nick Nurse leaving, did you? It's just say Nick Nurse in the coaching area is the same thing as Bobby Masai in the front office area. You just don't know what you got till it's gone. Some of you idiots. I know what we got and while we still have it, and y'all don't. And really, seriously, I honestly don't think half these people are actually Raptors fans. They're just trying to add to the noise of confusion to make it worse and just adding voices. They're not people that actually want good things for our team, and they're just adding their voices in. They could be hockey fans. They're more Leaf fans, and they kind of don't really care about the Raptors, but they say they're Raptors fans, and they're just coming in and putting their 2 cents in, which is not educated because they're not following the team very well. They're only looking at the state standings. They don't understand basketball fully. They're just casual fans, and they're making all their comments just from looking at the newspaper. and seeing where they're sitting. Stuff like that. If that's part of the problem, is the perception. If the Raptors lose tomorrow, the perception of it in some ways will look so bad, and that's part of the problem right there. So I completely agree with Cool Cat. These people do not understand. Once again, the grass was not greener on the other side without Nick Nurse, at least not yet. It will be hopefully eventually, but right now it isn't. And y'all are finding this out. You're finding this out, that we should have valued Nick Nurse way more in certain ways. But listen, he was going to have to go either way. But people really got to understand this about Masai and Bobby right now also. Monique is saying, Lex, I don't listen to someone who shall not be named at all one bit like you, but 11 months ago came across Brian Macon on it, didn't open the video. The thumbnail said the truth is the truth, Brian Macon. Yeah, I saw that he scored Brian Macon as a guest on He Who Shall Not Be Named channel, but I didn't watch it. In some ways, that's great that you got Brian Macon, and it probably was a very innocent, just normal interview. If it was something more, we would have heard more about it in some ways. It's like if there was real waves or anything worthwhile in it, well, it may have been more put on broadcast. I like Brian Macon. Brian Macon's appeared on other places, and we do know he's a very close person to Scotty as his personal trainer. But it's still, I don't know what he said on there, and in some ways I'm not worried about it because Brian Macon is an employee of Scott, and Scott is an employee of the Raptors. And the Raptors are telling Scott what to do in the offseason, and Brian Macon is listening to Scott and the Raptors to help him as his personal trainer in the offseason. Darko could very directly tell Brian Macon, we are working on this with Scotty for next season, and we'd like y'all to focus on this emphasis. So, Brian Macon's a good person. I like Brian Macon. He's an important part of Scotty's life and his development. And I trust that he will work in conjunction with Darko and Masai and Bobby to get more of the vision of what Scotty's supposed to be in the future coming forward. So let's see. Carlos saying Darko has a clean slate on all players when he started. So he's keeping faith on the bench. I think that faith has now faltered with Flynn and Precious. I wouldn't count Precious in there. You guys keep lumping Precious with Malachi. Now, Malachi, yeah, he should probably get the message. But once again, I don't think Precious is in as much trouble as you guys think. I think that he just got a slight message. It's say half a message, but Malachi got the full message. All right, let's see. Mugabe saying, Lex, I have a feeling Scotty and Pascal is going to go off tonight. I love that feeling, and I'd like to see it. I know Scotty Barnes had his second game in the Boston arena in his career, and he went off, and we beat them in the Boston arena on his second game. His first victory as an NBA player happened in Boston. So let's recreate some of that magic from the very beginning, Scott, and let's go get a win on Boston's home court in Boston. I'm all about it. Fun guy saying, bro, what the fuck happened? I noticed Pascal almost rarely shoots and ranges this year. Sheesh, that was his bread and butter in his career. What the fuck, Darko? What's going on? Rarely shoots mid-ranges this year. Well, there's a dumb movement in the league, fun guy, that the analytics and the stat heads like Eric Curry and Brittany Donaldson are telling their coaches the mid-range is a useless shot. It's like the percentage of what you make it compared to the three or the inside, it's just like you shouldn't shoot there. So a lot of coaches got a mentality now to not allow their players to shoot mid-range. This happened last year. Nick Nurse and Nate Bjorkgren are very anti-mid-range. In fact, they would punish guys for taking mid-range shots. So there's a movement across the NBA to retrain players to not take mid-range because analytics tells us it's not the best strategy. It's so ridiculous. I said this on this channel earlier this season, that there's three parts to scoring. There's the close to the basket and the paint, there's the mid-range, and there's the three. And if you don't have all three areas trying to score, that is kind of lacking. In some ways, that mid-range disappearing or analysts saying is no good and people shouldn't do it, and they're telling players not to take them, is a disservice to offenses, especially ours. If we can't make threes and they're packing the paint and we're not allowed to take mid-range, well, what the hell are we supposed to do for our offense? And this is part of the problem. I reject the idea that the mid-range is useless and because analytics tells us that. And I wish that people would just get over the analytics bullshit. There's a human element to things also, whether it's AI, analytics, or whatever. And it's common sense. And the mid-range should be an important part of every team's offense, even if the computer printout tells you it shouldn't be. It's so stupid. That's why right there. It's not even just with our team. It's a league-wide thing that the mid-range is frowned upon because analysts have decided that the percentages and what you're doing with your possessions is not that's not the best place to shoot. And I get it. In some ways, they're probably correct, but in some ways, it's absolutely a necessary part of the game that people are trying to cut out. That's ridiculous to me. Chris is saying it is very weird to be a fan who is always hoping the team implodes for your own pet fantasies about the direction of the team when you have zero impact on the team. Laugh out loud. Pure delusion from losers. You know what? You're getting five dunks for that comment. That may be the best dunk I've had all of this year. Seriously, you just really succinctly, Chris, put this together so well just now to really illuminate what the problem here is. You're at 43 now. You just jumped ahead of Monique, David, and Trevor on the dunk charts just right now. Because honestly, that was the best way to put this ever. I want to read it again. It's so good. It is very weird to be a fan who is always hoping the team implodes for your own pet fantasies about the direction of the team when you have zero impact on the team. Laugh out loud. Pure delusion from losers. Wow. You just hit it out like Vladdy. Man, you did. Wow. Chris, I am so impressed. This is the most fantastic comment I've heard in so long. Oh my gosh. Monique saying, in reference to Scotty Barnes, Brian Macon. Yeah. What do you know about Brian Macon? And, it's a big get that idiot got him on his podcast. But in some ways, I didn't hear a whole lot about it afterwards. It's not like it made huge repercussions or waves or anything. Blackhawks saying, losing to the Pistons does not make us look bad. Let's not feed into the negative narratives. FYI, we're not losing. There you go, Neil. Another one. And that you're getting a dunk too. You're getting a dunk too for that one. 28 for Neil. There you go. Boom. Yeah. Because honestly, this is what we've got to do. You've got to hope for the best, visualize the best, visualize success, visualize good things happening. And then good things will happen. Doomsday people, naysayers, chicken littlers, Bob the Rebuilders. These people, they need to just be in their negative headspaces and just stay away the fuck from me because I ain't got nothing to do with those people. That's right. Cool Cat saying Pistons games are ratings gold right now. Every team trying to avoid history with the Pistons. Yeah, so let's just get by this game and let's take care of business, beat them, and then the next game can be the one where everybody puts all the pressure on the next one. Some ways we got to do Celtics first. We're in a tough schedule thing right now. There's no way the NBA knew this was going to happen when they made the schedule. So I'm not saying that this is just really awful in some ways how it's kind of worked out. The schedule has been so bad to us this year. It was bad to us last year. It's bad to us this year too. Carlos saying, haha, yeah, cool cat. High drama now with every Pistons game. And Chris is saying, I will watch. It's competitive out there. Blackhawk saying the Knicks can suck my Grady dick. That's pretty crass, Blackhawk. Let's see. Monique saying, W stream, W vibes. Keep at it always, Lex. Good times. Go Raptors. Always remember, we got to hit first. Please do it. Yeah, Scotty. Come out there aggressive. Make the right tone. Man, if you start the game like you did against Utah the other night, woo. I'd love to see that. A 20-point first quarter and just dominate the Boston Celtics tonight. I would love that. I love that so much. Chris is saying 10:30 a.m. cut off today. Best cut it then. Well, we're at 11:30 now, and I'll be done soon. I just want to get done before noon. Jillian said, I think Matt and Jack have to okay stuff with the front office. I don't know. I mean, Ron Jeremy was not okayed. That's for sure. Ron Jeremy was not okayed with the front office. I mean, they've got to do things within like a family-friendly environment. It's not like they're going to come out with some sort of crazy, like nasty name for him that's like not it's X-rated or something. I mean, I don't know. It may not be as controlled as you think, Jillian. It really may not be. It's really kind of spontaneous. And Matt may just say something in the call and it just kind of sits and it makes sense. And people hear it in the call. He has the most power over this. Swirsky did too. Way back, Swirsky made all kinds of nicknames when he was calling our games too. You know, the salami and cheese, you know, all those different onions, baby, onions. These are all sayings that these guys make a big deal, and they can make nicknames too. Trevor's saying now he's calling him Scotty 3. Yeah, Scotty 3 is his current nickname. Scotty 3 is Scotty Barnes' current nickname. Scotty B, Scotty 3. This is what he's saying. Stargate saying Shaq made up half man, half amazing. That makes sense. I think I remember that. That's the one he made up. Because I thought that Vinsanity was kind of like Kenny Smith or something. It was at the dunk contest they called him Vinsanity, right? And then Air Canada, I'm not even sure where that one came from exactly. Cool Cat saying, Lex, read the article. You'll learn what the Siakam 2022 offer was. All right, I'll go look at it and I'll see what's up. Jam Joe's is back, man. Good to see Jam Joe's. Hello, Raptors family. I don't know why you were dissing me last streams. I might have been skipping words because I have an Android, but I didn't appreciate that at all. You know what? Seriously, dude, you have to go back and look at it, Jam Joe's. All respect. I was seeing like clicks. There was like LMMM LMMM. Your Android was screwed up, bro. It looked like you were either like a kid had gotten your phone and they were pressing buttons, or you were pocket dialing me. Like it didn't look like and listen, I read every comment. It's not that I was trying to make fun of you or anything. I just read what I saw in the comments that day. Like if you go back and watch the stream from yesterday, you'll see that it was all a bunch of LM, and clicks. It was like all in the one corner of the keyboard. LM and then period. And for me, I was just trying to do a dramatic reading. I did not mean to offend you. I was just trying to be funny. And I didn't know what was happening with you. I thought that maybe you were pocket texting me, or that like a child had taken your phone and was just mashing buttons all of a sudden. All due respect, man. It was not meant with any ill will. It's just part of the entertainment value. If somebody writes something in here, I'm going to read it from how I read it. And it wasn't trying to make fun of you or anything. I apologize if it did offend you. It wasn't my intention. I was just trying to read your comment, which was really a bunch of LMs and periods and commas. And that's why I was going like making those noises like that. And I read all three of the comments. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, your phone's messed up, bro. It has nothing to do with anything other than that. Whatever you were trying to put in there, it didn't come through correct. Let's just put it that way. It came out the other end like LM, comma, period, comma, L, period, comma. I don't know what was going on, but all due respect, Jam Justice, I love you, man. And yeah, I didn't mean to insult you. All right. Omari saying SB dunks, maybe. Denal saying SB43. That's not bad. Fun guy saying, with all due respect, Lex, nobody cares about the Boston game. We win or lose, not much change. The Pistons game, though, oh my God, is a big game. That's where we all keep an eye on. Celtics is whatever. Well, I would say this, fun guy. The Boston game is a big deal because if we beat them, that helps us. We haven't won against the Atlantic Division yet this season. We need to win against somebody in our division. It also feels real good for the team if they can come up and beat a high caliber team like Boston. It's good for good vibes, good feelings, good spirits. It'll feel encouragement. Success begets success. So with all due respect back at you, the game tonight does very much matter because we are 0-8 or something like that against the Atlantic Division. And that's absolutely unacceptable. We need to beat an Atlantic Division team. We're the only team in the league who's not won against our own division. And we need to rectify that as soon as possible. Now, tonight may be a little tough, but yeah, if we beat the Celtics at home, the Raptors will feel real good as a team. And we need that in some ways. Now, you want them to lose tonight, so they're just bitter and mad tomorrow, and they absolutely beat the Pistons tomorrow. I'm okay with that. But let's not poo-poo tonight's game. Every game is important. And if you get the chance to play against the top team in the East, you want to give them their best shot, and hopefully you can win because it will really build good momentum and team success. And it will help the team feel better about how things have been going. So Jam Justice saying, all I'm saying is you could ask me to clarify and I'll do it. Well, I don't know what you were trying to say. And you didn't really hang around after that. I apologize. Once again, I didn't want you to, I wasn't making fun of you. It's just, I was reading what was there. And if you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like if you go back and watch that part and you can see the comments, you'll see what your comment looked like. It was really much like, I don't know, your Android's not working right. Obviously it wasn't at that point. Either way, all respect and love to you, man. And let's go Raptors, Jam Joss. I really, dude, I don't want you to be mad at me because honestly, it was honest, just like silliness that I do on this channel. If somebody writes something crazy in there, I read it. And in some ways, my interpretation of it is sometimes, you know, it can be, I get it. Sometimes I can offend people and I worry about that sometimes because of what I said. And in some ways, I didn't want to offend you there. I think I felt like you were pocket texting me. I really did. It was like it was nonsensical, is what I'm saying. And I would love for you to clarify. If you were saying something yesterday that you really want to get across, tell me now. We have the chance still to circle back to this and talk about it. All right. All respect, man. I love you, Jam Joss, man. I'm a fun guy saying I wouldn't be surprised if any sign of us losing tonight or winning by a large margin arises and Darko immediately pulls the guys like really, really early so they're good for tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. I would do this too as a coach. Like if this game's out of hand one way or the other tonight, I would definitely pull guys early just to have them ready for tomorrow. That's just good, sound strategy. Fiercely saying, once again, Trevor J, bringing the support and allies to Raps games. Alley hoop. That's right, Trevor J crew. You guys are my heroes going to Boston tonight. I love it. Infamous is saying, let's remember this team is not Darko's team. He inherited a hybrid of Casey and Nurse teams. Give him time to shape his own team. Well, at this point, it's not really a Casey team either. I mean, it is kind of, I guess, with Pirtle coming back and Yaka with Pascal and OG. Those are really the only Casey touched people at this point. And OG's barely. Pascal and Jakob, you could say they were Casey people, I guess. But most of it's really in the Nick Nurse and Darko hybrid kind of thing, if we're going to kind of say that. Carlos saying, good point, Infamous. Like Lex said earlier this season is really to find out who to build with Darko and Scotty. Yeah. Yes. And some of this is not exactly right, and we're going to figure it out. Fiercely saying, Ed Infamous, you're right. I have a feeling next year's team will be more of an approximation of who he wants to work with in terms of various skill set and personalities. This year is a trial. It's a feeling out period. It's a transition year between the Nick Nurse era and the new Darko era. And in some ways, we got to look at the existing people that are here and who's going to be going forward into the future. And that's really a lot of what this is this year. Yeah. Space Cadet saying he shaped this team for a third of the season and it wasn't working. Too much Flynn. Fiercely saying it, Space Cadet. Agreed. It's safe to assume he won't return next year. He put in the efforts, it seems, and was given more opportunities, but the results speak for themselves. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let's just go ahead and just see what happens with the path of Malachi. If he has a redemption arc where he does finally show up and becomes a consistent player and has some sort of boon in the second half of the season, so be it. I won't be upset. It's not that I hate him so much that I don't want him to succeed. I just want to see him succeed, and he's failed, and he just makes me miserable because he doesn't get anywhere. So if he does do something in the second half and all of a sudden, I don't know, I'd be wary of giving him a new contract either way because it's not really a whole lot of good period to me. Denal saying, come on, people, come on. David saying, why are we even talking about losing the Pistons? One game at a time, people. The stupidity of Raptors fans never ceases to amaze me. I'm going to give David a dunk for this too. Because honestly, I'm hearing all the talk all around on social media. People are getting ahead of themselves with the game with the Celtics is tonight, and we've got a game tomorrow. And tomorrow doesn't come till tomorrow. And in some ways, we got to worry about the Celtics tonight. Yes. I agree with David. Mischief agrees. Dap. And Mo saying, need my membership, David. Fiercely saying DeMar's mid-range is gold, huge part of his success. Yeah, he bucks the trend. In some ways, that's maybe part of why people are like, DeMar on my team. You know, he's doing mid-range mostly. And, you know, mid-range is going like the dinosaur. David's saying, Mo, if you want a membership, buy a membership. Here's a cookie. Oh, geez, David. All right, cut off 11:25. And Fun Guy saying, oh, shit, laugh my ass off. Guys straight up dissing Androids, laughing my ass off. That's all I've ever used. I usually have an Android. Honestly, my phone sucks. My phone really sucks. And I'm not even dissing the Android. I'm just wondering why his phone was messed up. He said it could have been his phone. My phone sucks too. I hate this phone. In fact, I got a new phone, but it didn't work. It didn't work on my system. So I still got this old piece of junk. Yeah, I've never had a good phone either. And I've had mostly Androids too. So I'm definitely in on that. Fun Guy saying, isn't Atlanta in the Atlantic Division? This may be a dumb question, but I don't really know. But if we did, we beat them. No, they're in the Southeast Division. The Atlantic Division is Brooklyn, New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and Toronto. That is the Atlantic Division. And Atlanta's in the Southeast Division with Charlotte, Miami, or Orlando, and Washington. They're the 5 teams in the Southeast. They got an easier division. Let's just put it that way. Fiercely saying, at Fun Guy, just looked at the NBA standings. Atlantic is Philly, Boston, New York, Brooklyn, and us. Yeah. Seymour saying, love you all from Candle Lake, Saskatchewan. That's right. He had to go there because Matt Devlin called it out. OG for 3 from Candle Lake. And Seymour went there. That's awesome. And Seymour saying, what a beautiful country we have. Love it. Let's go, Raptors. There you go. Seymour's got it right. He's out in nature. He's looking at the beauty of nature. He's finding the serenity and peace in nature. And that's what a lot of us need to do. I'm just saying. Cool Cat saying, I have Android phones only. I loved all of them. Yeah, Android's not bad. I'm not trying to diss the Android. I just think that it was flaking out. And that's why Jam Joseph was having problems with texting yesterday. Jam Joseph, you're still here. Please understand. That's what happened with all that. Yeah. Yeah. And Matt Mo's saying, we ain't losing to the damn Pistons. Come on now. I'm with her. I'm definitely with her. And Denal saying, Team Pixel. Okay, great stream, Lex. Let's go, Raptors. Thank you, Denal. And yeah, we're at the end here. All right, let me just do a real quick recap. I trust Nurse's talent opinions. Yeah, Nurse had pretty good Italian talent opinions for sure. And one guy said, yeah, Pixel is the best Android. All right, good stuff. Google Pixel. Monique did an advertisement for that. Very cool. All right, the injuries are as such. I'm expecting this, the switcheroo. Jalen didn't play last night, but Jason did. Jason kind of hurt his ankle. He played an overtime game, a lot of minutes. So I'm expecting Tatum to sit tonight, and Jaylen Brown will return to the lineup for the Celtics. And that will be the only person missing, Jason Tatum. That's my prediction. I may not be right. Both of them could be there. Maybe both of them aren't there. I don't know. Garrett Temple is doubtful for tonight, his ankle still, and Koloko is already ruled out for sure. Yeah, the referees for tonight's game in Boston are actually not bad for the Raptors. David Guthrie is the crew chief. He favors the Celtics. Dedrick Taylor is the referee. He favors the Raptors. And JT Orr is the umpire. He also favors the Raptors. So that's not a bad ref crew. We'll see how it goes with everything for tonight. All right, let me see. We got the main event marquee matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TD Garden and the home of the Boston Celtics. Tonight, we've got a marquee main event matchup between, in this corner from Florida State, West Palm Beach, 6'10", Scotty Barnes. And in this corner, it's the stick man, the unicorn from Latvia, Kristaps Porzingis. And tonight, our competition is a weightlifting competition. I want to see who can lift more weight, the big man, Barnes, or the stick man, Porzingis. Who do you think can lift more weight between those two guys? Who do you think bench presses more, Scotty or Kristaps? I wonder about that. All right, there's your main event marquee matchup there. There you go. All right, you guys are talking about phones now. Let's see. Holy crap, you guys filled it up. David's saying the pushy panhandler never gets the change. Cowboys saying good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. And David's dapping. Jam Joseph was like, yeah, I wasn't trying to do any ooga booga or anything like that. Seriously. It was really just like I was just trying to read what you wrote. I got a flip phone and an Android, and Seymour's laughing. Fun guy saying, if you have a flip phone, you need to return it to the store. Stone Age. You need to return it to the Stone Age. That's funny. I got them both. I'm a workaholic. Let's go Raptors. Cowboy checking in. Fun guy saying, actually, Android has that new open type phone now that folds. Cool. Team Samsung here. That's right, Monique. There you go, Samsung. And Fiercey's got the Raptor heads on blast. Trevor saying, Lex, we'll try and get you out one of these games with us. I'd love that, Trevor. I would love that. If you guys do get to Toronto, that's the easiest way. If you guys come here and you want to go to a game with me, Trevor, I would definitely go to a game with you. Right now, the only game I'm scheduled to go to for the rest of the season right now is the Fred VanVleet return game in February. That's the only game that I have tickets for currently right now. I've gone to a lot of games already this season, and sometimes over the course of the season, I get a lot of games early, and I don't go as much later in the season. But Trevor, if you're north of the border and you want to go to a Raptors game with me, I'm there with you. All right, I'm there with you. Fiercely saying Scotty for sure. Scotty for sure. Is that a nickname? Scotty for sure. Cowboys saying everybody enjoy your day and the win. Everybody, I like that. And Cowboy Seymour saying I'm in if Trevor locks in 100. Okay, let's see. We get all these people to come here. 100 tickets for the game here. That's very expensive. We know that Scotiabank Arena may be one of the most expensive arenas in the league right now. So yeah. A fun guy saying, "Wow, Lex, that's a game to have a ticket to." Yeah, it's not me, it's Adriana. Adriana loves Fred, and she absolutely wants to be there to welcome Fred back with a hero's welcome as a big Fred fan. So she'll be there with her Fred jersey on, and we'll be there to visit and see him back. We did the same thing when Kyle came back. We went to the Kyle Lowry return game. Well, she wanted to go to the Fred Van Vliet return game, and I'm just lucky and blessed that she went and got the tickets, and she wants me to go with her. So yeah, see, fun guy saying, I'm just not paying $2,000 for an iPhone. Yeah, that seems a little ridiculous. And Fiercely saying, Team iHore, she's got an iPad, iPhone, a MacBook, and a Apple Watch. Yeah, my niece and nephew were getting Apple products for Christmas, and they were very thrilled about that. Very, very thrilled. All right, guys, thanks for watching me. Listen, Raptors, let's stay present. It seems like a lot of Raptors fans are getting ahead of themselves, and it's all about today. It's about the Celtics. It's about TD Garden. It's about coming out there and beating a team that played an overtime game last night. Use that advantage, Darko. And the changes you made with the lineup and the rotation the other day were very fruitful with a lot of good things. We want to see more success like you had against the Washington Wizards. Now let's stress test it against one of the best teams in the league. I believe in y'all, and I think you will do this. So get off the right start, like Monique said, and punch them first in the face and get a lead and just try and beat them as best as you can. David Guthrie may be a little weird tonight, but maybe not. Maybe he will help us a little bit. I don't know. Let's just see how it all goes down. Let's do our best, and let's try and beat the Boston Celtics tonight on their home court. And then we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll deal with the Pistons stuff then. Tomorrow morning, reaction to the game tonight and a preview for the Pistons game tomorrow morning before 9:30. I'll be here. All right, y'all. Gang, gang, gang. Raptors Freak for life. That's right, Seymour. Come on down to Toronto. And it's Trevor J, and we'll go to the game, all of us. Salute the Fiercey. Salute the Cowboy. Fiercey saying, let's go Raptors. I love the hypeness that you guys are showing right now at the end of the chat here. Yes, sir, Seymour. Have fun at Candle Lake. I hope y'all did connect and get to see each other. Fun guy saying, all right, see you later. Lex, I have a date with Ganja. There you go. Chris had the date yesterday, and now Fun Guy is, do you love me, Mary Jane? Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you think you love me, Mary Jane? Don't you play no game. Trevor's saying it wouldn't be in Canada, only the U.S. I'm not coming to the U.S., man. I may go to Atlanta. I may be in Atlanta at some point. That's the only place I'll be going to in the U.S., and that's only because of my niece and nephew and my brother's family. That's the only reason why I would go to the United States at this point, is to go see my family. So if you're thinking I'm going to jump the border and come to Boston or New York or anything like that, no, I'm not. No, I am not. I will only go there to see my family. So it's going to have to be a Hawks game. And yeah, that's the only American arena you will catch me in. I ain't coming down there for nothing else. I really am not impressed with the United States, and I'm trying to stay out of it. I'm trying to stay out of the States as much as possible. My niece was like, Uncle Lex, you should come to Atlanta more often. I'm like, yeah. You want that Clark jersey. I know you're going to get that Clark jersey, Seymour. If you come to Toronto, I will personally hand it to you. One guy saying, man, we used to go to Detroit all the time. Now, see, I'll go to Detroit. In fact, I want to go to the game tomorrow, but Nako's busy, and he can't get the car for tomorrow. So I can't get to Detroit tomorrow because I don't have a car myself. But Nako the Nacho's got a car, and if it worked out and him and I could have gone to Detroit tomorrow, that would be great. I would do it. Actually, I have a lot to do tomorrow, and I kind of have to move things around. But either way, Seymour saying, not crossing enemy lines. It's not that, in some ways, I'm American too. It's just I don't want to go over there. I even like Adriana going to Christmas in Buffalo. It worries me because Buffalo is where they shot up a grocery store. It just worries me, the gun violence in the United States. I hear about people getting stabbed all over Toronto in the last week, but they're stable and they're alive still. And then I hear about stuff that's happening in the U.S. where 20 people are murdered because somebody had an assault rifle. In some ways, that's part of the reason why I don't want to go down the States, because the increase of being shot by an assault rifle is much higher in the United States than it is in Canada. So it's partly that. In some ways, I want to take a stand and say, if y'all aren't cleaning up your damn country with guns and the way that mass shootings are going on, well, why the hell would I want to come to your country? Seriously. You can't get your act straight, that you can't stop people from shooting up schools and school children. You're a disgrace, United States. And that's why I don't want to go down there. And I'm so glad Adriana didn't have to go down there to Buffalo for Christmas this year because, yeah, it worries me going across the border with all the guns and my parents living down there. It makes me worry too. So yeah, fiercely saying I was it was Rochester, Lex, but I agree with you. Dangerous down there. No, that was in Buffalo where that grocery store got shot up. It was in Buffalo, the Buffalo grocery store. We may be talking about totally different shooting incidents, fiercely. I'm talking about that one where the white guy went into the neighborhood black grocery store and just started shooting up people. It was so crazy. The security guard tried to stop him and he lost his life. Cowboys saying, let's beat the Celtics tonight. I'm all about that. Seymour saying, yeah, people out here going off about the Toronto violence. I'm like, Grandma, it's been happening since the mob days. Nothing new. Yep, Lex, I keep canceling U.S. trips too. My fear of guns and mass shootings. Yeah, it's just not a good look, U.S. And you're wondering why tourism is down. Well, it's because people like me ain't coming. Cool Cat ain't coming either. Yeah. The violence in Toronto is persistent. You know what the problem with Toronto is? It's a mental health problem. And they're right. Mental health is the issue in some ways, but the guns are the thing that makes the mental health even worse, like 100 times worse. Now, you can have mental health issues up here in Canada. If they have a knife, they stab a couple people. Hopefully, those people survive. That's the difference. Gun laws do help, and they really do cut down things. It's a proven thing around the world, whether it's Australia, UK, Canada. We all have much better outcomes with mass shootings than the United States. They just haven't learned their lesson enough that they're going to continue to just make the same stupid mistake over and over again because the gun lobby is controlling things and they don't care about their children. They don't care about their people. They just see them slaughtered every day because the money that's made by the gun companies is more important than actual people's lives. And that's just the damn truth. All right, y'all, let's get out of here. Let's beat the Celtics tonight, Raptors, and then we'll worry about the Pistons tomorrow. I love y'all. Thanks for being here with me. Jam Joe's, no offense, man. I'm sorry if I offended you yesterday. I really didn't mean to. It was just me reading your comments. Seriously. All right, y'all. Let's go, Raptors. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you want to join as a member, membership has its privileges. You get access to our Facebook chat during the game, and I am commenting in it usually during games. So there are some perks to being a member. Just to get a gun, Lex, legally. Listen, this is the thing. I'll tell you one thing, fun guy. I learned in grad school. I'd studied mortality. I studied life expectancy. I studied the things that add to your life and the things that take away from your life. If you wear a seatbelt when you ride in a car all the time, you will add 5 years to your life on average. That's how much that impacts your life. Seriously, if you wear your seatbelt on average with all the statistics and everything, you will live 5 years longer. Now, if you own a gun, well, you're probably going to take like 9 years off your life on average over the whole scheme of things. First of all, the gun's presence in the house, you're more likely to get shot by it than you shooting anyone else. So the gun just being there is dangerous. It's dangerous for children that are in the house that may find it and shoot themselves. It's dangerous for you because you may have a mental health lapse and you may be in a very dark place and there's a final solution in the other room. It's also dangerous because people may break into your house and use your own damn gun on you. So I don't keep guns in my house because it's more likely to end my life sooner. The statistics are for real and they're very real. Every gun owner out there has a lowered life expectancy than a non-gun owner. And that's just the damn truth. So in some ways, that's why I'm doing it. That's right. Yep. All right, fun guy. I love you, man. And big ups to you guys, all you guys out there. All the best to you guys. And let's have a great Friday. I'm going to go work out some more and get pumped up for tonight's game. That's right. I'm doing 10 reps of 100 bicep curls on both arms all day. And each rep is a number for each player. Number 4 is Scotty. Number 5, Precious. Yeah, all the way up to DeMar, number 10. The 10th workout is the one I do last. That's right. And I've already done 2 of them. I've done my Grady and my Jalen McDaniels before I even did the stream. So now I got 8 more sets of 100 bicep curls on both arms coming up after this. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow with a reaction for hopefully a big victory over the Celtics tonight. And we'll get this table set for the Pistons game also. Yeah, you cannot live your life in fear. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. It's just that you know what they also say, Trevor, is you choose where you spend your consumer dollars. And I ain't spending money in the U.S. because I do not like that country right now. And I think that country is a cesspool. And that's why I ain't got nothing to do with it. I had the option to live in the United States or in Canada, and I choose Canada. And I have been here for 10 years now, and I have not looked back in some ways. So I understand your case is a certain way. Your family's there, your wife wants you to be there, and you're going to be living there, and that's fine. But for me, that's just how it is. I don't have to live in the States. I don't have to go to the States. That's for the best. Seriously, I'm not missing out, is what I feel like. I really am not. Other than I just want to see my family down there. That's the only thing I care about. Yeah. Let's see. Fun guy saying it's statistically true. Gun lower equals lower life expectancy. Yeah, it's just the factor of it being in the equation. If the gun's not in my house, and it really is, the gun causes more deaths because of suicide. That's the biggest contribution. Sure, there's gun accidents and gun deaths from like cleaning your gun and you shooting yourself by accident. There's also, kids finding your gun and shooting themselves by accident. But the really, really bad thing, and especially in today's day and age where mental health is a huge issue, is suicide. And that having a gun is a final solution. It's much harder to kill yourself without a gun around. And that's the big part of it right there. I'll let you go, Lex. My bad. No problem, man. I don't mind having a little add on conversation at the end. I know it's almost out of here. Fun guy, you're my dude, man. I love you, man. And same for Trevor, Jam Joe's, everybody. Monique, David, Cowboy, Cool Cat, Fiercey, Dana, Jillian, everybody. I appreciate all y'all. Let's go Raptors. Let's get that big W tonight. Let's go Scotty Big W's. That's the nickname I wanted to call him. Scotty Big Dubs. Scotty Big Dubs, because he's all about the big W's. Yeah, we got the dub. We got the big W. Oh, Scotty Big Dubs. That's what I want him to be. And when he wins more and more as a Raptor, he'll be Scotty Big Dubs because he's getting that big W for us. All right, y'all. Let's go Raptors.